Listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA on the state. Listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down LA podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Stacks to P. That's not has anything to do with me. And welcome back to another podcast episode. This is episode 48 of the Stay Down LA podcast. Welcome one, welcome all. As you guys can see, we're at episode 48, so 49, 50, 51, 52. We are 4 weeks away from our 1 year anniversary and our 1 year of making these podcast episodes. So definitely got to give a clap. I got to give a big shout out to you guys for that, for being part of the journey, being here with me. Very proud of myself. Very grateful. This whole podcast thing and this whole podcast experience has just been a very big learning experience for me, and I definitely am grateful for everything that is brought to me. So this broadcast is brought to you guys by Stay Down Network, which is a brand that I created and own, and CEO, CFO, whatever you want to call it, all aspects of it is generally K Stacks to P or Caduce at the moment, and of course my family. You know what I'm saying? Any of my people that's watching this, anybody that's has an Edu last name, or is my cousin, you guys are part of the family business. Automatically, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But like I said, as far as who actively runs it, it's just K Stacks to P right now. And like I said, this is brought to you by Stay Down Network. That's my brand. So any other brands or anybody that wants to reach out and collaborate or want to get sponsored, or because I do advertisements. I don't have no issue doing advertisement on here. You just have to align with the values and the things that I talk or be about on here, aka movies, financial literacy, food, TV shows, and anything that's pro-black. You know what I'm saying? Pro-black, pro-Nigerian, Because sometimes, I definitely feel like I don't represent or I don't shout out my Nigerian side enough. But, as someone that stays in America, it's like this one of those things of just distance, out of sight, out of mind, but not with the culture. Never that. And then, who am I? My name is K Stacks to P. I'm a young, fresh Nigerian, born in Nigeria. Came out here when I was 2 years old, and I am a psychology bachelor's degree holder, so I have a degree in psychology. So I'm a psych major. I've always been interested in human behavior patterns and everything like that. I love movies. I make music. I make content. You know what I'm saying? So all around, I'm just a regular guy for real. You know what I'm saying? Who just decided that, hey, I'm a regular guy. I like to talk about regular things. Why not record the things I like to talk about and post it? And that's how this podcast came to be. But if you want to know the specific, moments and the specific times and experiences that helped me really get there, I definitely recommend to go listen to episode 1 of my Stay Down LA podcast, which is basically how to stay down LA, which is where I basically go into detail of what helped me come up with the Stay Down brand and everything like that. And you never know, I might go into some of that here, you know what I mean? Generally speaking, I always like to talk as if this is someone's first time seeing or speaking this or seeing this. So I just always want to assume that, hey, this is you watching it, this might be your first time. So welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Old, young, you know what I'm saying? Men, women, they, them, anybody and everybody is welcomed here. So, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to Stay Down LA podcast. And that's who I am, like I said. And I just decided to, just come on here and just really just talk about stuff that I'm really interested in. Generally speaking, this is not a fan service podcast. This is a Caduce service podcast. So it serves me, but I feel like, in a sense, it serves the community too. You feel me? Like side by side, it serves two goals. You know what I mean? It serves my goal of being able to just yap and talk and overshare, as much as I want to, and it allows me to also just document my experiences and things that I go through on a weekly basis. It's so funny. I never thought that I would need to do it for this phone, but it's looking like this one is going to need to be the displays don't need to be a little longer too, because I'm not gonna do that. Because I might fuck around and forget. But now that we got that out the way, I just a disclaimer to anybody that has any issues with specific religions. If you're atheist or anything like that, this is the time where you might want to step off or probably want to skip ahead. You know what I'm saying? But for all my prayer warriors and anybody that wants to get this good word, come closer and then just say bow your head as I continue on with this prayer. I wish to bless the Sunnah James Islam Rahim Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Ameen. Allah, I want to thank you so much for another opportunity. Allah, I want to thank you so much for waking me up today. I want to thank you so much for making me the head and not the tail. I want to thank you so much for making me healthy. I want to thank you so much for allowing me not to have any complications. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to have the mindset, the ability, and the capability to accomplish everything that I put my mind to. I want to thank you so much for the opportunities that you present to me, the ones that I know and the ones that I don't know. And I want to thank you so much for always answering my prayers, even without me realizing them. And always just overall just helping me realize that I could actualize the things that I believe and dream of and think of. And I hope to essentially pass this same blessing on, and the same feeling, the same passion, and the same mindset onto the viewers, onto the listeners, and anybody that comes across any and all forms of my content. A big shout out, a big, very big shout out to my father, as it is today, as it is his birthday today. My dad's birthday is today, so I want to say thank you, Allah, for allowing me to have a father as great as him. I want to say thank you so much for allowing a father as him. I want to say thank you so much for just everything that you allow my dad to be able to do. I want to ask you and pray that you continue to give my dad the strength, the mindset, the physical capabilities, the spiritual capabilities, the health, everything that he needs to be able to still be able to be the father that he is, and be able to be stronger and become another better version of himself. And I pray that he has another amazing year around the sun, and that this day is just another start to another amazing year. And I actually want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all my guardians, all my angels that are resting in peace, that are watching over me, that are guiding me from beyond. I want to say a big shout out, a big thank you to my grandmas, my grandma on my dad's side, my grandma on my mom's side. A big thank you and a big shout out to my auntie Bossa. Rest in peace to all of them. Rest in peace to Latif. Rest in peace to Latif's mom. Rest in peace to Khalila. Rest in peace to Elliot. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about you guys and I don't miss you guys. And I just ask that you guys continue to watch over me. And I ask that these prayers and these blessings be passed on to those that I mention by name and I don't mention my name, and those that are all in my heart. Inshallah, mashallah, ameen. Allah, thank you for allowing me to be all these things and more, and allow me to continue to grow. Thank you. So now, man, I'm so glad nobody joined the podcast, because I'm like, it just be awkward when I do this stuff and I see the one viewer there, because I just be like, is that a robot? Is that a bot? Or is that really a person listening? But when I don't have nobody watching, I don't mind saying whatever on here. I be feeling so comfortable. But as you guys know, now that we got the prayer out the way, I'm gonna give you guys a preview in today's episode. Of course, as usual, or as now usual, we're gonna start off with a weekly recap, where I basically go into a recap of my week. I don't know why I keep messing up. A recap of my week from last week Friday to this current Thursday, where I basically just go into details or just basically sharing anything that cool or interesting that happened throughout the week. And I just kind of just like going through it, because it just allows me to remember, and like if there's anything in particular that I might forget, going through a week helps me like not forget that. And essentially how I do this is each day I recap throughout the day. Each hour I'm writing down what I'm doing, and then I do a summary at the end of the day each day. So generally speaking, for my weekly recaps, that's what I'm really reading. I'm reading off the summary at the end of each day. So I usually do it the next day, but if I'm really trying to make sure I do it that same day so I could have it more heightened and more fresh in my brain. But that's basically what I've been going off of for the weekly recap. Immediately after the weekly recap, we're going to go into some movies, TV, media, basically. And I'm going to be reviewing the movie Backrooms, giving you guys what went down, how I interpreted it, and then how I enjoyed it, if I enjoyed it or not, and would I recommend it. Then I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about my thoughts on the Daemons of the Shadow Realm. I recently watched episodes 2 through 4. I'm going to say confirmed. I already watched episodes 2 through 3 that I could really say it off the top of my head. We're gonna go into that, and we're gonna go into some things that I seen happening interesting this week from Instagram, ranging from Jay-Z to Pennsylvania mayor talking about some Love Island stuff to Twitter where they talk about some Trump stuff, or I talk about some Trump stuff, some Marlon Wayans stuff, and some Neil deGrasse shit. So we have a really good episode for you guys today, and like I said, let's, without wasting any more time, you know what I'm saying, no more pussyfooting around. Let's get right into it. So, as I stated earlier, I'm going to start off with the weekly recap. So we're going to start off from last Friday. So on Friday, I woke up and I was editing episode 47. As you guys know, like I said, I am, one-man army. So all my content and everything that I work on, I edit myself. But where are my manners? Before I get any further in today's episode, we can never start the episode without sparking an incense. Today's incense, and like always, the incense are brought to you and sponsored by the Taj Mahal. Okay, so they're not sponsored by, but it is brought to you guys by the Taj Mahal. And today's incense that we're going to be using is Bob Marley Fresh Cone Incense. And then while I get this all nice and started, nice and sparked, oh yeah, it's smelling good today. Cause I ain't gonna lie, the Sex on the Beach has definitely been winning my heart over the last weeks. So this one's a little stump, I ain't gonna lie, but it works out anyway. But as I said, I was editing episode 47 of my STAYDOWNLA podcast. Like I said, make sure you guys go check out that episode. So after I did that, I basically just had to tell my mom to take some stuff out the car, and then I had to go pick up some stuff from an auntie that my mom basically be tapping in with. They really close. So sometimes this auntie in particular would be like, oh, can you... So pretty much, she want to give my mom stuff, but, I don't want to put her business out like that. It just be requiring me to have to go pick it up. And at first I used to get annoyed by it, but at this point I appreciate it because ultimately she makes some good food and shit. If you giving food, you must fuck with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Food is a real love language for me. So I really do appreciate it. So after basically editing the podcast, I made the movie review for the Backrooms because I also seen it on Thursday. So after I finished doing that, after I be making the podcast, I always usually had to wait for it to upload. So I was waiting for the podcast to be finished exporting, and then I drank some liquor. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling myself. So after that, I basically just tried to find an opportunity to go landscape. If you know, you know. So then I did so after eating some rice and stew. Then I played some Grand Theft Auto, and I ain't gonna lie, the liquor one. So I ended up taking a nap. After my nap, I woke up and I landscaped again. And then for some reason, this Friday in particular, I guess I just got tired of seeing the ends of my hair. I guess in a way, subconsciously, I was, what did they say? I kind of was hating my own genes in a way, because what I was attempting to get rid of my hair was just something that just want to naturally come with the process of me growing my hair out like this. So like at the ends, it'd be sometimes where, I think you guys seen it, you guys seen it in my other episodes, where I'm over here like twisting it and I'm annoyed, like why is that one piece of hair sticking out? So this Friday I decided, or last Friday I should say, and then of course the drink of today we got some, we don't really have a drink of today, but today we got some Fanta with some Terramana. And then of course, as I am a 26-year-old adult, I do want to give a disclaimer because you never know the ages of the people that might come across your content. You don't want to just because you're aiming towards adults, you don't want to just assume that only adults, engage in your stuff. So just in case there's anybody that's under the age of 21, I would like to give a disclaimer that I do not promote any underage drinking, and only drink responsibly and drink when you're at the age that's allowed in your state, wherever you guys are, because you never know. You guys might be watching this in freaking Belize, and I learned in the last podcast, freaking Belize, they could drink at 18, so that was interesting. But like I said, got some Fanta and pineapple with some Terramana. I'm really mostly tasting Terramana, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Fanta was gonna dilute it a little better, so if anything, the next time I pour it, I'm gonna pour the Fanta first and then the Terramana. So let's take a sip. I feel like I should also have water. Like, the goal was in a sense have a chaser, but mix the chaser in there. But that shit is strong. But nah, I spent like a couple hours. I ain't gonna lie, like at least a solid 1 hour, just trying to detangle my hair. The process started off as me trying to use some leave-in conditioner, or I tend to use it. I was trying to find a detangler, or I guess a detangler, because I don't really know too much about hair products, hair verbiage. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. So my mom had mentioned like earlier, was like, hey, if you want to pick your hair out and stuff, I have this product that you can use and stuff. So, but she kept like explaining to me that she would kind of need to be the one to administer the product, and I just was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So essentially, she was like, let me know that if she wanted to administer this product, she just would need some time, like let her know ahead of time, so she could like be prepared to do it, and that I shouldn't wash my hair, because the last time when I wanted her to do it, I had to wash my hair, and she was like, oh, pretty much I can't wash my hair, that is going to affect the product. And I didn't understand at the time, so essentially I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I just moved on for it that day. So then this day, Friday came, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put no water in my hair. Let me have my mama do it. So the mistake I made was, like I said, I never confirmed what this product was, so I never knew why she was, emphasizing that she should be the one to do it, why she should be the one to take the time to do it and every stuff like that. So I never understood till I seen the product, and it was like some type of professional, pretty much it looked like some professional grade, like salon type product that is like helps with detangling hair, and all that was perfect and dandy. I was all with it, you know what I'm saying? I thank Allah for my ability to read, because I feel like that was definitely a point in time in my life where I wouldn't read instructions on how to use items, and I would just use it and then figure it out from there. I'm so glad I read the directions now, because in my reading of the directions in this product, right, I ended up seeing that like pretty much the breakdown of the process of it to even use it was pretty complicated, and it was on some shit where it's like pretty much you gotta be super uber duper careful, and I'm just like, this don't seem something like, because essentially, and then, well, let me continue. It was saying you gotta be careful, and that like the disclaimers. It was like it could burn, you could possibly have hair loss. So I was like, whoa, hair loss. I was with you. I was a little with you till you said the hair loss shit. I ain't gonna lie, because it's one thing for me to pull out split ends. I just call them split ends. I don't know if they're split ends, but it's one thing for me to pull that out than to be, in a sense, forced to pull it out. Because, is this a camera? What's the right way up for this? Let me see. Because if it's like this for this one, so let me see with this Lillard one too. Because I'm like, if I find out that all of them, that on the back they're all upside down. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that if this is the right way up, this is the right way up. For sure, so I see it now. But nah. So once I seen that disclaimer on the product, I kind of got a little scared, because I was like, oh, well, if this shit could possibly result in my hair loss, maybe I shouldn't use it, because I wasn't confident. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I wasn't confident that I would spread the product evenly, and I didn't want it to be too hyper. I didn't want it to be too much in one area and that affect, me overall. So because of that, I decided, you know what, hey, Mom, you're right. I'm gonna just leave it alone, and I'm gonna just let you, do you. When you got a chance, we could work on it together, essentially. So after that, I went back to my original way of like detangling, which is really just me just washing my hair, trying to get my hair as soft as possible, and then just using the pick and then just picking out as much as I can, So I did that for like a couple hours and stuff, till I really just was like, okay, like, nah, I think I'm doing too much now, and like I kind of just gave up. So after that, I was like, okay, cool, let me just leave this stuff alone. Hold on, you guys, I'm about to look up something real quick. about to look up my Crocs because, honestly speaking, yeah, I was about to say, why not just... That's why God is so good. I'm so glad I take a picture of everything, bro. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have, no proof of what I'm looking for. But because I did, I do have proof. So let's actually go to this. Let's look for this proof. That's funny. Because I typed in Crocs on here, and it really does find the Crocs. Oh, you know what's funny? I took a lot of pictures in the orange ones. I didn't take enough pictures in the red ones. Let me see. Spider-Man Crocs. Let me type that in. Yeah, okay. We got some Spider-Man. Ooh, never mind. Not enough Spider-Man. Let me see. Let me put Spider-Man Crocs. I know for a fact I have a picture of my motherfucking Spider-Man Crocs on here, but nah, I think I have a good enough picture to make it work. So on the right shoe, it was the web. Hold on, it was the web one. So if I'm going off of this, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So between 1, 2, 3, right here is the Spider-Man that's swinging. Sorry guys. When I went to, well, this is I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I went to Universal yesterday, and took my Crocs with me, and essentially I took off my giblets because I was worried that I didn't want the giblets to possibly fall off the ride. I'm a very paranoid guy. You guys gotta understand me. So because of that, I was like, okay, well shit, I'm gonna take the giblets off. And in doing so, I essentially forgot to do what I would do now, next time. Take a picture of their placement, so that way I don't forget. But God is so good. I already had a picture of my phone from the day I purchased them. From the day I purchased them, so I have a picture that represents where they went. So essentially speaking, I was able to. I didn't remember, but it works out because I got a pick. So let's see. I want to say they look like they're not in the same position on both shoes, but I guess I put them in the same position on both shoes, right? So that way they can like match even more deeper. And this is why my podcast episodes be freaking 3 hours, shit like this. But nah. So after, like I said, after I kept trying to essentially achieve a version of my hair that I just imagine that my hair is supposed to look like. Because that's really what the frustration is really at. I don't think my hair looks bad. I think I just assume it looks bad because of a conversation that I had with my ex-bestie one time about like how dry my hair was. So I think as soon as I see any pieces of dry hair in my head, I just assume that, okay, I gotta take these hairs out. And like I said, I didn't have my auntie do it one time, and when she did it very nicely. It was a lot though. I'll keep it a bean because I'm very tender-headed. So it wasn't nothing fun, but it was an experience nonetheless. And by nothing fun, I mean like essentially like it hurt a lot. You feel me? So okay, I'll put it right here. So yeah. So after I tried to do it myself and I kind of wasn't successful, I was like, okay, let me just leave it alone. So it's gonna go right here. Because there's a hole. No. So in the middle. Yeah, because one, okay, bet. So now, after this last giblet, my Crocs are back to normal. And as you guys can see, there's no cap in my rap. I really fuck with Spider-Man. When I say I fuck with Spider-Man, I fuck with Spider-Man. So now, as you guys can see, my Crocs got the giblets back on. I kind of see why they didn't put this giblet right here now. But it's not. What's the difference between this and right here? For real. Honestly, not that much. But nah. So after I was, trying to get my hair out and stuff, and it didn't work out, I was just like, you know what? I'm just leave it alone. I think I just did enough. I did enough damage for today. let me just leave it alone. So then after that, I just left it alone, and then I was just like, I figured that I just gotta style it better, you know. It pretty much, because I guess in a way I'm trying to, dang, that turned out strong. I'm trying to achieve my hair, or trying to get it to that point of when I first started growing my hair. So I just reverted. So I was like, I'm gonna just start styling and doing my hair the way that I did it when I first started doing my hair, and essentially try to encompass that same technique, and then hopefully it will yield the same results, you know. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that was Friday. So then on Saturday, happy blessing outside Saturday. I woke up and I was gonna get ready to do a run with Keep It 100, but I didn't have any meetups. And Whole is Fit, they do at the end of the month, they do a hike, and you guys know me. I love hikes, but when I'm in my running bag, I want to run. So I was like, a hike is not gonna be enough. And you know what's funny? I think I could only do a hike myself. I'm really coming to terms with it. It's just certain workouts. No, I don't think it's. I think it's beyond hikes. I think it's just certain workouts that I prefer to have it done in a certain, I'm like, timeline or duration. I guess duration. Like, in particular my bike rides. You know, I love my homies and stuff, but let me not even say that, because like I said, I don't want to diss the homies, but essentially, well, I guess because either way, because what I'm saying is gonna sound like I'm dissing the people that I work out with. I'm not trying to say that. I think me, just from working out and getting so used to my routine, doing everything solo, even because like I said, even when I went to university yesterday, I realized I'm just I'm a timely guy a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying, a little bit too much to a T, like, and even in moments where I'm supposed to be having fun, like I told you guys with my Disney trips, it's like I'm trying to speed run, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to get as much done within a lot of time, because I'd like to, if there's 24 hours in a day, and for example, I have to go to work for 8 hours, I still want to try to, you know, seize the day as much as possible, you know what I'm saying, like, even if I have something that's going to take my time for 2 hours, I just wanted to only take my time for those 2 hours, and that be it, you feel me? So when it comes to, I feel like hikes and stuff, hikes are all fun and dandy. It's just I noticed, you know what I'm saying, like I said, from hiking with my twin, the bigger the group, you know, I wouldn't even say, because I never really went on a hike with a big group. No, that's false. I'm lying. But it's not something I do often. But essentially what I'm saying is, I just feel like we take longer when there's more people, and a hike already in itself is a long process. So I'm like, dang, I don't know if they're gonna want to. I don't know if they're gonna have the same. What is it called? What is that word called? And this always happens when I'm recording a podcast. I have so much words in my head and I just fuck up. But they're not gonna have the same. Well, pretty much you're not gonna have the same speed to want to get it done as I would. Like, whereas I feel like they might be cool with walking at 2 miles an hour. I be trying to get that, like, the longest walk. Like, I like to get like 4 miles an hour. Like, they're not gonna pace themselves as much as I feel like. And I'm like, and I'm really saying that in particular, I feel like with hiking, because I feel like it's walking. So it's like, if I'm walking, of course I'm gonna take my time. But for me, it's like, if it's a hike and it's a workout, we should be trying to get it done as quick as possible, even if we're walking. Like, let's try to be speed walkers. Like, that's my energy and stuff. So, because I feel like not everybody is with that, I decided that, hey, I just want to go run, you know, instead of going to hike with groups. So, like, if it's just me and my twin, I'm always down to go do a hike with just him. But when it comes to doing hikes with group, I kind of get turned off, because, like I said, I just feel like what could be a 1 hour and 30-minute experience might fuck around to be 3 hours or 4 hours, because, man, it just be extra. So I was like, yeah, I'm just go run myself, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I would have did with the Keeper 100, but didn't have no runs this Saturday. So I was like, okay, both of my run clubs are not available. Time to use reliable. What's reliable? My motherfucking legs. And what's other reliable? My motherfucking car, nigga. So I just was like, hey, I know where I could go run. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna be a little lazy because I didn't feel like driving, you know, and I was just gonna run around the hood. But I was like, you know what? I deserve more than that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was on Strava, and then I seen one of the homies that I follow on Strava. He ran at the beach, and I was like, you know what? And in particular, this nigga in particular, the last time I ran with him at the beach, he was like, he really just emphasized how blessed and how lucky we are to be able to run at somewhere so beautiful as the beach. And it just dawned on me. I was like, he's right. Like, it is a blessing to be able to work out at the beach, to be able to like have access to the beach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to Tiani. She stayed where she stayed. I'm not gonna dox her. So shout out to Tiani. I'm respectful. But where she stays at, she kind of gotta go a whole other state for real, right? She gotta go to another state for real to go to the beach, because where she is located is not really no bodies of water. You know what I'm saying? Like with a sand thing type stuff. So I just thought of that, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, that nigga's right. I should definitely take advantage of this shit. So I did that, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking run at the beach. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm graduated from just only doing 3 miles, and then overall I always like to work out for at least an hour. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna go out there, do 6 miles, and then just see where I'm at, see how I feel and shit like that. So essentially, I did my own run, and at first I was just gonna be around the hood, but then I just explained it. So after I did my morning routine, I did the TikTok before I left, because like I said, I noticed that when I'm tired, the quality of TikToks and the quality, they just put in content. You know what I'm saying? I just say TikTok because that's usually the area that I'm recording, making stuff on. But the quality of my content, I feel like, is lowered when I don't have as much energy. So I decide, or I try my best to do it while I'm fresh off the wake up, the peak of my energy. Not really the peak of my energy, but just while I'm fresh and like I'm not tired, I'm not fatigued from a workout type stuff. So I was like, you know what, let me make the TikTok, get out the way. So I made the TikTok and I ran to the run area, started my run. 6 miles later, I did my landscaping, and then I had received a call from my mom. That's what I'm saying. I love when my brain, I love when my memory starts kicking in with these recaps. So then it's not me reading off of anything anymore. It's just now I'm just reliving what I did. When I relive what I did, I'm telling you, it just makes the podcast way more smoother, because I already talk a lot. So it just lessens the amount of tangents, even though I just went on a tangent. I'm sorry. But essentially, after I finished my run, my mom had called me and she was like, hey, do you mind stopping by at Mash's job, because he has a cooler than I need for today's event. My mom was cooking that weekend. So I was like, oh yeah. Well, I was in my feelings at first, but I'm like, like I said 2 episodes ago, where I just try to tell myself, if my mom asks me to do something, just do it. Just do it. Like, if anything, second guess yourself later, but just try your best to just get it done, because at the end of the day, while your mom is here, take advantage and be so grateful, because, I don't know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much my mom probably be wanting to do the stuff that she be doing for us, but she don't ever complain. So if she want me to pick something up, I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Dead homies. And like I said, I just be trying to pass this on to you guys, because sometimes, right, just a quick tangent, because sometimes when I do my intro and stuff, and I'm like, you be saying you're trying to put people on, you're trying to like pass these things on, but like, are they able to understand when you're like, are they understanding the game that you're trying to give them? So just in case people are a little confused by how I try to present the game, I pretty much just try to tell you guys what I do, and then hope you guys can emulate, or let's take notes from it and make it your own. So when I'm saying that, I'm hoping that goes in you guys' head, and you guys think to yourself, hey, maybe when my mom be asking me to do stuff, I'll be annoyed, I'll be this. Have a little more patience for it. Pretty much what I'm saying. Your dad asks you to do something, have a little more patience for him. You know what I'm saying? Be reasonable with him, because at the end of the day, especially if they're a pillar in your life, appreciate them. Be grateful for them, because at the end of the day, nobody, it's everybody's first time here. Let me stop, because I feel like it'd be hard for me to like, but I think it's one of those things where like parents they're a special case. You know what I'm saying? Because this podcast, I feel like would be, as a podcaster, I feel like I know I live in a hypocritical bubble. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I know I judge people, but then I try to give other people grace. So it's just a double standard of podcasting. So just understand that. So when I say I'm giving, with their parents, and it's their first time here, and then you guys hear me talk shit about somebody else that's also first time here, just understand the nuance. You feel me? But essentially what I'm saying is that, yeah, just give your parents a chance. You know what I'm saying? And if they yelling and stuff and it's unreasonable, cool, walk away, let the cool heads prevail. But if they're saying some reasonable shit, try to hear them out. Because most of the time, parents, like I said, a parent that really cares about you, that loves you, they're going to be on your ass. My dad tells me all of this. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't care. And the older I got, I realized what he said was true. Because if he truly didn't care about me, if he truly never wanted me to succeed, if he truly never like cared about my future, my goals, or just me just achieving anything, he would let me crash out. He would just let me be a failure. But this nigga was on me at every step of the way, and that's why not even eventually, but that's why I was able to walk that stage, because he never gave up on me, and he never stopped caring. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm never gonna stop caring about them. So once again, happy birthday to my dad. So after my mom had called me, and I was like, you know what? Hey, let me stop being a bitch, because like I said, I was just annoyed. It was because it's not her. I'm just tired from the run. And so I'm like, I just want to go home. But I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. Let me just pull up to my shit. So I landscape. I pull up on my shit. And then after I pick up the cooler, I head to the house. I ate some. Oh, and I also stopped at a beauty supply store to get some hair products, because I was just in the area. Don't know why I didn't write that down. But after that, because the theme of this week is rice and stew, so you're gonna hear me saying that I ate that a lot this week. So after that, I headed home, ate some rice, stew, and plantain. Took a nap. I didn't play the game or nothing. I was just resting and chilling till around sometime in the afternoon, where I had to help my mom put the food in the car for the mosque. Then I got because I'm like, I don't mind talking about this on here, because like I said, I had to be very honest, I had to be very open, and ultimately I want to give you guys a conclusion to what it really wasn't nothing. I think it was, and that's why, like I said, I had to be honest. I think it's kind of one of those things where I don't know what analogy I could use for it, but you ever be in a position where you hope something goes good, but subconsciously you either know it's not going to go good, or you kind of want it to not go good. I feel like in this situation, and I'm just call her EJ, because like I said, I feel like even me bringing her up in a podcast was a little bit much, but that's why the episode was called "Was I Too Forward?" But essentially, what I'm saying is, I might have a shame kink. I might have a kink of like just wanting to be disappointed, because in this situation, I think even just like especially after this talk with her, I think it made me just really just like confirmed what I think I was just avoiding accepting, which is that time has passed. The situation was very deep. People were hurt. Feelings were hurt. Respect was not given. Yes, we may have been able to move on, but things are different. And I need to accept the change. I need to accept where I'm at. And just overall just talking to her. Because essentially, like I said, you guys, I'm not going to, because I want to really just, because I don't want to keep talking about her on here. I feel like the last conversation me and her had, because I ended up meeting her, was just really respectful. It was really eye-opening for me. It was really like a closure moment. I think a lot of times, or I think I kind of just, the last year, I kind of just assumed, or I kind of accepted that I'm never going to get closure for certain things. And essentially, in life, you don't really get a lot of closure. So I think I just went around not trying to give myself closure in this situation, which I should have been doing. I should have soothed myself instead of trying to like soothe, because I think it was one of those things where, like I said in the beginning, I kind of knew how this was going to go, but I think I just wanted to that's what I'm saying, I have a kink and like just wanted to be embarrassed, because like maybe I just wanted to experience it, the hurt, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I'm not saying that it is, maybe there's just some conscious reason behind it, because essentially, right, like I was telling you guys, pretty much I was saying how like I would redo something if given the opportunity again, and with that I was a little emboldened, and I did overstep. It's not even I think I overstepped. I did overstep. Like overall, even when I really look at the situation, I feel like that's why I was like, I didn't mind it, because I'm like, I'm okay with being embarrassed, and I'm okay with just, I'm okay with being vulnerable, but just knowing better, I need to do better. You feel me? So I'm like, I want to essentially just keep that same mindset overall. But love is a spectrum, so that's just really what it is. But essentially, how I said in the last 2 episodes, I was thinking about redoing something if given an opportunity. Person in said opportunity heard and was like, reached out to me and was like, hey, would we be able to talk about some of the things that you mentioned on that episode? You know what I'm saying? I have some thoughts. And of course, me being a psych major, me knowing that like, okay, I might have been a little bit, very open. I might have said a little bit too much. I was sorry. Oh, sorry. I hope that wasn't heard in the video. But it is what it is. I'm a grown ass man. My body's functioning. But nah, essentially what I was saying is I knew I was wrong for that, so I'm like, I think, the follow up with her wanting to speak about it was kind of like warranted, and I kind of knew like, yeah, eventually this would happen. You know what I'm saying, like type shit. So it wasn't really a surprise there. I think it was one of those things where, like I said, it was like this needed to happen. You know what I mean? Like I kind of needed to hear this. I needed to like know, even though I knew. I think it's one of those things where it's like, because like I said, the brain tricks you, the mind plays tricks on you. It's one of those things where maybe I was like giving myself an out, giving myself false hope, and I needed to just know what it really was. Even though I didn't need to, it was just one of these where like, I'm very grateful that I got the answer that I really needed, because that way I think it allows me to really get to move on peacefully and like respectfully how I need to, you know what I mean? Because essentially, like I said, met up with the person, we discussed what I spoke on, and I'm just keep it a being. They pretty much was like, have you had any growth? Because the way that you were speaking on there, it sounded like it didn't sound like you understood the impact of what you did to me. And just hearing her say that, I just felt so shitty. I felt so terrible, because in the situation in particular, like I said, I told her I would never speak on it on here. But like I said, out of respect for her, I wanted to know that I do acknowledge what she said, not to respect what she said. When she basically like let me know, and like even went as far as to really like and elaborate on how it affected her, it just really just set a whole new perspective for me. And I've been telling you guys, I've been really learning perspective. Sometimes I'm like, I might just be in my perspective on it, might think everything's just all copacetic, but then I hear another perspective, hear another POV, and I'm able to realize that, oh, okay, this also is realistic, and this is also how it could have been interpreted. And essentially, how she said it made it so like clear, like duh, like nigga, you thought that after that you could be back? Come on, fool. Like, I knew better, but I think and I think that's where, like I said, just the narcissist in me came in, was just more so like, I guess I was just so proud of the growth that I had made that I thought that was enough. You know what I mean? And she did not necessarily say that was enough. She just let me know that like, that just is just too much. You know what I'm saying? And I just won't be able to look past you. And like, I respect her so much, and I appreciate her so much, because she like, you know what I'm saying? She said she forgave me, which I appreciated, which, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of like, just, I guess like I said, just from closure. I got the closure I needed, and I got the answer that I needed, and overall, I feel like just put me in a mindset of just like, yeah, you kind of knew that was gonna happen. You kind of knew that was the most appropriate response in the situation anyway. Just beyond that, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't bullshit, nigga. You know what it is, like, on me. So after that, I was like, you know what, yeah, and I kind of needed it, like I said, because now I feel like I'm really able to put an end to that chapter. I'm really able to close that door with no regrets, no what ifs, no, oh, is there, you know what I'm saying? Now I really know, like, nah, how it is how it's meant to be, and I have to accept that, because this is how I put it. These are all the results and all the culmination of my choices, my actions, and my decision making. If I wanted it to be different, I should have behaved different, and I didn't. So I have to stand on that. And I appreciate it. I even like, and I don't think she was trying to be funny, but I think she said some real shit. She was like, it's funny, like, I kind of get the last laugh now. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Because at that time, I was feeling myself. I was acting like an asshole. I was acting like Mr. Nonchalant, like Mr. Nigga don't give a fuck. And look at me now, over here like, man, if I could go back in time, I would've. But it's like, no, bro. There ain't no time machine, nigga. This is the reality that you made. And this is the reality that you deserve, that I kind of need, I kind of earned, you know what I'm saying? So even with that, I'm like, you know what? I needed that. I needed that conversation. I needed to just, I guess in a sense, just like, know, like, hey, there's no bad blood here, you know? I guess that's probably what it really was. It's just like, are we still cool? You know what I'm saying? Are we still good? And I'm glad that we are still good, you know what I'm saying? So that really overall just made me feel way more better about the situation, and I feel like allowed me to appropriately navigate it. You know what I'm saying? Because a part of it, like I said, is from my narcissistic brain, my selfishness of just thinking that me, not really thinking her, and how my actions might have affected her even after the fact. So I'm so glad she reminded me that, like, nah, like, nigga, what you did was a little much. No, I mean, that's I'm trying to downplay it so that way you guys can't guess it. But essentially, I did some wild shit, and I you know what I'm saying? I deserve every consequence that came after that, for real. But overall, that was just really, you know what I'm saying, like I said, a really good chat, and like I said, I felt really good, you know? Like I said, it was like a weight off my shoulders, you know? Like I said, I pretty much after this, I don't think I'm gonna be bringing up, you know, that situation anymore. I think now it's put to rest, you feel me? So now we could kind of just look forward. And it was even funnier too because, you know, like I said, she's always been real in this aspect of just like me just being able to potentially find a partner. Like she was really trying to like give me hope, and I'm like, I think she doesn't understand where I'm at, you know what I'm saying, like with just women in general. So I think she just probably thinks that like I doubt myself, but I think it's just more so like I've accepted, you know, more of what just realistically my wants and how it is when it comes to dating, you know what I'm saying? So that was just really good, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's nothing coming from that, and I wouldn't even say that like we on some friendly shit. I think it's just a cordial thing because at the end of the day, like I said, that's the one that was very important in my life, but that chapter and that time has gone, and like with everything else, I just have to move on, you feel me? And I think that was just one of those, at least for me personally, I think that was just one of those, probably the last aspect of the old me that I was trying to keep alive. But now that I'm like hearing from the other person, is like, nigga, there's no chance. Then it's like, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That's true. Let me embrace this new version of me and leave every past version either. Don't forget it. Acknowledge where you came from. Acknowledge how it helped you get to where you are. But let's leave that. It's newer and bigger, better opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, honestly speaking, I really appreciate her. Like I said, that shit really put me at peace. And you know, like I said, as a man, you know, we always be like, we're not gonna tell nobody anything, but we always had that one person that we tell everything to. This time around, it wasn't Devin, because I know how Devin is about this topic in particular. He's not gonna give me nothing. He's not gonna give me nothing reasonable. He's not gonna say nothing constructive. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm not gonna tell Devin. I'm gonna tell the nigga I was talking to about it, which was E-Man. And you know, like I said, even when he was talking to me about it, you know, I had to, cause E-Man's he watches my podcast, so I know he's gonna see this, but. Man, I remember when you were saying it, bro, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to sound like, I didn't want to be pessimistic, you know, because you know me, I'm an optimistic ass nigga, but between me and you, brother, yeah, I think that ship is sailed, man, because even in the text message, he was like, man, there might be a chance, and I was like, you know what, I think I just need to leave her alone. I think I've done enough harm, and probably the best thing I could do for her is probably let her be, you know what I'm saying, like, that's really just how I think that's really just where I'm at. I think I'm like, yeah, like, what she wants from me really is essentially nothing. Like the best thing I can do for her is to let her be her, you know. And not trying to include or input myself in her life just because I think I'm better now, you know. But after that, I essentially was basically because it's Saturday, and I'm about to say my nigga Rue had an event that he was getting ready for. So around this time it's like 8 something. So I'm like, damn. I know the event started at 10, but knowing with the homies, I'm like, are they gonna get there at 10? You know. So I already had confirmed with Ruchi earlier in the day. Unlike the week last, I told him this time. I said I'm gonna follow up with you because I realized closed mouths don't get fed. And if I be trying to go to these events with my niggas, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes these niggas do not be. You know, we just live lives that we live in. I'm the same way, so I'm like. I know for a fact if somebody don't follow up with me, I might not even think they really want to go for us. So I told my nigga Ruchi, I'm like, I'll follow up with you. So I followed up with him again. And then, because I came home, like I said, I rested. After that talk, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little tired. So I came home, just, you know, try to chill out a little bit. And then, but exactly. So after talking to that person, after the talk with EJ, head home, I stopped at Carl's Jr. Try to get some food in my system before the night because I just knew I was going to be drinking. and then I take a nap, and then I woke up at 10 p.m. I hit up my nigga Rucci, and then I head out to the studio, and then it's literally a movie from there, because after that, pretty much pull up with my nigga at the stew. We all there, we all chilling, basically rendezvousing. After the group of us get there after a certain amount of time, we basically start heading into Dragonfly. Like I said, big shout out to my nigga Rucci. Hold on, because I'm like, I hope I haven't been disrespectful and I didn't give, of course, a big shout out to my nigga dog. But no, it's my nigga Rooch Dog. Dropped a new album, Northside Story, out now. 16 tracks, man, all bangers, you know what I'm saying? So we're basically celebrating the album release this weekend. So you know it's viral, it's movies, you know. So we went to Dragonfly. You know, my nigga we pulled up Black Truck, you know what I'm saying? We at Dragonfly, I'm fly, I'm feeling myself. With my niggas, we really outside, you know what I mean? We in Dragonfly, we deep, you know what I'm saying? It's literally vibes, motion everywhere, you know, and it's just really a good time. Then after that, we head back to the studio because, you know, the party don't end till the party ends. So we basically be up there, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, I got a little batter in my back, so I'm feeling a little more open, because even what I told I might as well call her old girl now, but even like I told old girl, I think maybe they assume that I don't, you know, interact with women, but it's more so like, that's what I said. I'm like, I don't interact with women. I just don't be feeling like these girls gonna be fucking with a nigga that's 50-50. So I just be like, you know what? Because I don't think that I'm bred it up to be like, oh, I don't feel like I said, I'm not a financial freedom to be taking. I just be chilling. But I'm like, you know what? Because she basically let me know, like, she's like, yeah, my last situation, I was 50-50. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's part of why I fuck with you, because I'm like, you're reasonable, you know. But she basically was like, there's reasonable girls out here. So I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I've been sabotaging myself. Maybe I keep like shooting myself in the foot, be assuming that these girls keep trying to take advantage of me, and it's like, nigga, just don't let them. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, like I said, once I went back to the studio, that's just me saying that I'm gonna just be a little more talkative instead of being so scary. Another sip of the drink. So this time around, I did it Fanta first and then Terramana second. Let's see how it tastes. So I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna do a little stir. You know, shaken, not stirred. Or stirred, not shaken. Alright, let's see. Yeah, overall, it's not gonna, I think I just gotta just take it separately, because it's either that the Fanta pineapple is not strong enough to dilute or not strong enough to mask the taste of the Terramana, or the Terramana is just too strong that it's gonna always overtake the pineapple, because one way or another I just keep tasting straight liquor, barely any pineapple. Yeah, I'm tasting more, you know. Mind you, I did it the other way the first time, so it's like, hey, I tried both ways. But nah, essentially, I'm just saying, I was just being a little more talkative instead of being my old, you know, I'm not gonna talk to no girls, I'm not gonna get no information. Like, you know, I'm you know, even if it don't follow nowhere, I'm still trying to I'm gonna try to meet more people. I'm gonna not network, because it's not really like that. But I'm gonna try to be a little more friendly, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being so much to myself, you know, Mr. Lonely. Because I guess subconsciously, like I said, it was more so like, hey, keep that hope for that right there. Now that that's not there anymore, it's like, okay, well, shit, I might as well just focus on what's in front of me, you know what I'm saying? Type stuff. So after that, pretty much, yeah. So after pretty much, you know, being out till like 5 a.m., keeping it a being, because I'm not gonna lie, was definitely not responsible of me. But head home, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I was done for. But I was just feeling myself. I was feeling myself a little too much. I ain't gonna lie, a little too much, because if you guys know, I have a Disneyland pass. So my Disneyland pass allows me to go on certain days, and in particular, I had a availability this Sunday, and like, I ain't gonna lie, you know, my inhibitions was gone. Just feeling myself. I just wanted to cheer myself up. So I decided to reserve a day at Disneyland for that Sunday. So I'm already home, and I decided to reserve a day for that day. But if anything, I shouldn't have did it. And I should have did it when I woke up, because knowing myself, like I said, my amusement park days are very calculated. You know what I'm saying? I don't just go to a park and just wing it. I plan everything out. So I'm like, oh man, you're gonna have to pay for the parking, you're gonna have to drive, you're gonna have to do all this. But when I was drunk, I didn't think of none of this, so it was like I didn't care. But when I woke up and I'm a little sober on my Sunday, I'm like, oh wait, I did pick a Disney day. Now I kinda gotta go through with it. Or at least, just at least step foot in the park so that way you don't get no call, no show type shit. So basically, happy, blessed, and last day of May, I woke up and was still done for from the night before. So I just tried to make sure I could go to Disney because I just said the Disney day the night before or day of because I got home at 5 anyway. So after I probably got up, I made my TikTok for the day. Man, because I just was like, if I'm going to be at Disney all day, let me get all my responsibilities out the way and do everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, when girls be like, oh, when I'm with my nigga, I can turn my brain off. For me, when I'm lit, my brain kind of is off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as sharp. I'm just calling a spade a spade. So I was like, hey, I know when I go to amusement parks, I'm usually in that mode. So I was like, before I get in that mode, let me do everything that requires my sharpness right now. So TikTok. So I made a little small one, which is so funny. I said, the TikTok that I made on this day, a bullshit video, which was, and I'm saying it because I literally put a 3-second clip of my Bossa Nova meal, the Bossa Nova donuts that I got, and I was like, filler episode. Like, if you're ever on my TikTok or anything and you see me say filler episode, it's pretty much me too tired to make an original video. All my videos are original, but it's too tired for me to really put some thought into it. So here, just hopefully just take this little filler episode where it's like it might not be on brand or it might not be online with what we've been talking about all season, but just just fuck with your boy. You know what I'm saying? So I make the filler episode, and then I was overthinking because I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna use the chocolates at Disney, that's usually what makes my day more pressured mentally. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to California Adventure because I recently went because when I went to Disneyland, I went with Tiani. So I was like, you know what? I just went with Tiani to Disney. All I really need is California right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? I'm just go to California. I'm gonna go to all the ones that I really fuck with, which is not that many. And which, honestly speaking, after putting two and two together now, I realize now Disneyland is the same at every park, or I guess it's the same at every park. It's the extra park that is specific towards the area. So for us, we're in California, so we have California Adventure Park, which has I guess rides that I feel like are correlated to California. Now I'm putting two together, I realize the Japanese probably has Disneyland, and then Japan, Tokyo Disney. I would've gotta go to all the details, but I was like, oh, okay, so that makes more sense, you know what I'm saying? So that's why the rides aren't as much at the other park. So essentially, I was like, like I said, I was like, no, I ain't, because really too, I was just like, you know what, the new position was supposed to be starting next Monday. I gotta update you guys on that. So in my head, I was like, you know what, this might be my last week of true freedom. Let's just do it up. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna still go. Fuck it, let's do it. So I got dressed, got ready, and then I said, after I stopped overthinking, I said no chocolates. But I was like, landscaping and 2 shots of the rum. So after that, I had bought some, because from the night before on Saturday, when I went to the club with Ruchi, just, that's one thing about me. I guess that's why I be nervous about having a girlfriend and stuff, because I'm like, I know that I splurge on myself with no second thought. So I'm like, I just feel like, right, this might just be my nigga brain. This might just be my misogynistic brain. But I think it would just be a little bit unfair, right, if I don't have no second thought when it comes to how I spend for myself, and then start getting overthinking with my girl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I want to be in a position where I could not have a second thought with my girl too. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, for me, I really don't care. When it comes to myself, my family, I'm gonna spoil myself. I'm gonna treat myself, because essentially, after we leave Dragonfly and after I left the club, after I left the stool, I was like, I want a double cheeseburger, not just any double cheeseburger. And mind you, I don't know if I told you guys. I know I told you guys. I don't know what I'm saying. I said that knowing that I told you guys, but I told you guys already 3 episodes ago, if I'm not mistaken. I always like to do that so that way you guys, if you guys are like me, you like Easter eggs, and you like to know, okay, especially if I don't give all the context here, if I'd be like, okay, like 2 episodes ago, you guys could just put 2 or 2 together, like, this is 48, 46, 47, 46, so maybe in 46 he talks about it. So that way you guys can go and get the more context, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I always reference and I always say it in 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, so you can just minus, the number. But essentially, because like I said, I don't really fuck with McDonald's. No. Well, like I said, it's not that I don't really fuck with McDonald's. I think I always not really cared for it, but I think the convenience and me having all the points on the McDonald's app just made me think of it as something that I should really fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, like I said in that episode, the homies brought it to my attention that, like, have you ever noticed that when you eat a McDonald's burger, it don't sit in your body like a burger is supposed to sit? Like, it just feels like you just had like you just put something in your stomach. It doesn't feel like you ate food. And I didn't realize that. I was like, 'cause I remember sometimes I would notice sometimes I would get a triple cheeseburger, and I like to dip my food in sauce. That's why I think Mickey 717 or whatever Mickey, the movie with Robert Pattinson, where he basically gets killed and he could make clones about himself. I remember I was watching that movie and they were talking about sauce, and I was like, why does this lady like so much sauce? Then I literally went to Chick-fil-A and I got so much sauce, and I was like, I'm a saucy nigga too. Oh my gosh. So when I eat my McDonald's burgers, that doesn't change. I get my sauce. With getting the sauce, sometimes I notice I'm like, okay, the taste would be basically, like, I'm just tasting sauce. I'm not really tasting a burger, but I never really, like, tripped on it too much. But I would just be like, I don't really like how it sit in my stomach, but I'm like, pause. I'm like, I don't really care. But when the homies, like, really, like, went into detail about it, like, how, like, yeah, like, it's because of the quality and what it is, I was like, you know what? That is why when I eat a cheeseburger, it don't, like, I'm tasting the cheese, but the burger is not really, like beef. I'm not really tasting beef, you know what I'm saying? And it's no cap, because literally I got a double cheeseburger and I got a McChicken. The McChicken, I literally tasted the chicken. Like, I tasted the flavor there. But the McDouble just felt like it felt like I ate something that wasn't a burger, but was magically changed to look and make me, like, it looked like I was eating some, let's say, for example, some mashed potatoes. But the way that they have it, they made it to where when you look at it, it looks like a burger. Like, it looks like what you want it to be, but in reality, it's something else. That's what I feel like was what I experienced with that burger that day. I was like, dang, like, it looks like a good ass burger, it smells like a good ass burger. The cheese is good, but it's not really giving burger. So instead, I was like, you know what? I took McDonald's burgers off my list pretty much, like possible burger restaurants. But because of that, that is actually a disadvantage for myself, because McDonald's is cheap, so I'm pretty much put myself in a position where now I'm like, I gotta get more expensive burgers. You know what I mean? Whoop-de-doo. So I was like, I could get fast salads, but sometimes so I don't know. I feel like I had to have the mindset for fast salads. So I was like, I'm not really in the mindset for fast salads. Let me just go get some Fabulous Burger. And I did the mistake of getting the fries again. But I was like, let me go get the Fabulous Burger. So I go to Fabulous, mind you, nigga, Hollywood, Hawthorne. Drive from there to there. Go get my Fabulous food, and then you know what I'm saying? I get home and I don't even eat it. I'm just that tired. I ain't gonna lie. So that's why on Sunday, when I was on my way to Disney, I was like, you know what? Let me eat my food, because I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't eat none of this yesterday. I was gonna just put it in the fridge and eat it later. I was like, nah, it's probably best I just eat it right now. Type shit. So it was just a double cheeseburger and some fries. Nothing crazy. So I ate that. And then, so after eating that, I tried to chase at Disney. So then I tried to, pretty much I was like, okay, I'm finna go to Disneyland. Fucking I check on my Disney band, because as a member you have the option. Well, you don't have to be a member, but when you go to Disneyland, they have these wristbands where you can basically attach your ticket to. So instead of having to use your phone, you can just use this, and you can tap to enter, tap to go on certain rides, to have to skip the line. This pretty much becomes your ticket. So I have one, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me check on it. So I put on the charger, and I seen it was dead, and it was so crazy because I'm like, literally 2 days prior, it was just fully charged. But when you don't charge that thing be dying so fast. So on the way there, I was trying to charge it, and then I was trying to, you know what I'm saying, make it there, and I went to California, and I went on all the thrill rides. So when I got to California Adventure Park, I went straight to, I forgot their names at first, but now I remember their names. Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc. So I went on the Monsters Inc. ride. That's my favorite ride. I don't know what it is. I just like Monsters Inc. So I like that ride. You feel me? I just feel like I'm going through the movie. So I went on Monsters Inc. Immediately after Monsters Inc., I went on to Guardians of the Galaxy. Because, like I said, the wait times was reasonable. So I didn't get no skip in line. I just waited in line for every ride this day. But of course, you know, whatever rides had single rider, I wanted single rider. So for Mike and Sully's, for Monsters Inc., I wanted a single rider. For Guardians of the Galaxy, I had to wait in line. It was like I'm gonna just be honest, it was like an hour wait. And I was just getting so frustrated because I just feel like this is generally just a thing that I just deal with anytime I go to these parks myself. It's as if people don't want to give me my space. Like, I don't know. Because I'm trying to give them grace because technically speaking, they're not wrong for trying to, like, you know, take up the open space. But I think just ever since COVID, I think it's just been just a respect thing of just, for me, it's like, hey, just give me my space, bro. We don't gotta be this close to each other, bro. And then, like, I don't know. I'm gonna just be honest. As a psych major, that's a bully tactic. You guys, when someone is basically trying to do something and kind of like, because one might say, when caught, they might be like, that wasn't my intention. That's usually what they all say. You know what I'm saying? But usually when people are trying to do shit that I feel like where they're trying to like get it off and just see like how you gonna react, you gotta stand on business. You gotta show them you're not a bitch. So for me, when this freaking and it's weird, right? Because it wasn't even a nigga. It was this girl. It was this fucking girl. It's like this couple behind me or this group behind me. Anytime I like kind of like turn, it's like she's right here, and I'm like, bro. So instead of me, I'm like I said, I'm not stupid. You're not stupid, and you know what you're doing. I'm not gonna make a scene, but if you make a scene, best believe I'm gonna match you. Best believe either it depends on the day. If it's somewhere like, for example, if it's Disney, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna take the high road. You got it. I got a pass. I got more to lose than you, nigga. On the dead homies, you got it. I'm gonna walk away, especially if someone's making a scene, all that shit. But overall, I still stand on my respect. You know what I'm saying, per se. So with them doing that, like I said, I'm not gonna confront you, but I'm gonna make sure that I at least acknowledge what you're doing. So whenever she would like kind of like be all up in my personal space, I would step to the side to make sure that they knew, like, hey, I'm purposely distancing myself from you. Can you respect that? At first, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little difficult, but I think by the third corner that I did that shit, I kind of like, cause like I said, once I give you that look, it's like, okay, like, chill, fool. And that'd be what it be for me. I know we're too close when you bump into me. How are you bumping into me, my nigga? What the fuck? And like I said, I get a little passionate about it because I feel like like I said, I don't want to turn this to a race thing, but it's just been a common occurrence, bro. It's been a common occurrence where it'd be like groups of white tea people, and like they'll see me by myself, and instead of them just like, you know what, he's by himself, let's just give him, you know, give me 6 feet, just give him like 4 feet. It's like they just be trying to like, it's like they try to cut me like on some shit, like, nigga, like, you know, it's just you, we could just strong arm you, but they don't be peeping that I be peeping, so I don't ever give them a chance. I'm not gonna even give you a chance to breathe for real. So like, I always just establish the dominance by the start. For the most part, they usually respond very well. It's just annoying because, like I said, you could tell they be annoyed by me doing that. Like, they feel some type of way. But it's like, nigga, I wouldn't have to do that if you would just give me my fucking space, bro. Back the fuck up. Sorry, I really be wanting to say something, but I feel like because I'm black, I feel like they're gonna try to make it seem like I'm just tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really truly feel like if I was to be in the line and I was to be like, hey, can I just get some space? I feel like they're gonna try to turn into a, bro, we're all in line, bro. We're just trying to do, like, they're gonna somehow, some way make it to where I'm in the wrong. So that's why I don't be saying nothing. I just act on it. You feel me? But I ain't gonna lie, that shit was annoying. But back to the good part, because at the end of the day, this was a really good trip overall. It was just, I don't know why people do that. Like, why can't y'all just give me my space? I know I'm by myself. I get it. But just imagine I have a box around me. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Because after that, essentially, you know, after Guardians of the Galaxy, 10 out of 10, as always. You feel me? Which is always funny because, like I said, they be weird till we get on the ride. Now they want to start not, and that's what it be for me. I think when niggas see how cool I am, now they be like, oh well, maybe we should have been trying to be more talkative to this nigga. Maybe we should have been more nicer. Maybe we should have been more like inviting. Because I'm like, yeah, if you wasn't being inviting, I probably would have talked to your ass. But it's because y'all be making it to where it's like I don't even want to talk to you. I just be mute. And because I have such a cold poker face, niggas can never know what I'm thinking. Niggas can never know what I'm plotting. So when they see the person out there, see us, because I don't show the whole thing. I just give you a little preview. When I give you a little preview, they be like, oh my gosh. My gosh. Jeffrey, that young brother over there, he's amazing. He was just talking to me right now. Like, it's always shit like that. It's like, as soon as I open my mouth, now all of a sudden they want to talk to me. But, oh man, you know what's funny? Man, I'm tripping about this girl. The real issue came with these YMBs, these young, or YHs, these young Hispanic brothers, YHBs. Because literally, funny, bro. I go to Mike's and Sully's, Monsters Inc. I do Guardians, and that's when I experienced my first people trying to like be a part of my group, and I didn't want to be a part of the group. After that, I go to Spider-Man. No issues in Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I ain't gonna lie, I got whooped in Spider-Man. It was a group of 4 of us. It was a family, mother, 2 kids. Her son was not playing. Usually, I'm the best person in the tram. Her son whipped my ass in that game. I came in 2nd place, so I accept defeat. So immediately after Spider-Man, I was like, okay, cool. Let me head to Radiator Springs. Hiccup almost came. Went to Radiator Springs. Did a little bit of walking through the store. They have a lot of cool cars, toys. I ain't gonna lie. Definitely a lot of collectibles. I'm telling you, my house is gonna have just a room full of my collectibles of my Legos, the merchandise that I buy from parks, everything. And it's gonna be a studio, collectible room, and a podcast studio, like all in one. Cause that way, every time I record an episode, y'all could just see all my collectibles and shit. But essentially, as I did Radiator Springs, amazing time on that one too. After Radiator Springs, I was going to go to Incredicoaster. Incredicoaster at this time was shut down, or it was temporarily closed. But I ain't gonna lie, that line, you wouldn't be able to tell it was closed, because that motherfucker was just, or maybe they told them, because I'm assuming that the workers must have said, hey, it's going to be up and running anytime soon, because the way that it went from being temporarily closed to the moment that it opened was like a 16-minute wait was insane. But essentially, I went to go do Toy Story Midway Mania. So Toy Story Midway Mania is kind of like another version of the Spider-Man game, where it's like a carnival game where you pretty much just trying to get the most points. You know, it's just a point system game. I fuck with that. You know, like I said, as a nigga, and as a nigga that feels like, as a competitive nigga, I just want to win. So after losing in Spider-Man, I was like, I might have some more luck with with Toy Story Midway Mania. With me waiting in line, another group, 2 young Hispanic brothers, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Do you guys want me to yell at y'all? Like, do you guys want me to say, back the fuck up? Like, do you guys want me to say, give me my space? Like, do you guys want me to be on that? Because I can't be on that. But I don't try to do that because, like, for me, I feel like I said, it's a bully tactic. A bully's just trying to see if they could bully you. Once they see they won't bully you, they leave it alone. But that's what I'm like. For me, I'll just be like, I don't go for it, because I'm like, oh man, bro, the fact that you even thought you could even try that with me is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But it's kids. I'm not saying kids like that, like it's like little kids, but it's teenagers. You know what I'm saying? It's young kids, young teenagers. You know what I'm saying? We're at my Disneyland. If I trip, I feel like I'm gonna be the wrong, because it's like, you're a grown ass man being in your feelings, being upset at Disneyland. Grow the fuck up type shit. So that's why I be trying to let little niggas live. I be trying to chill, you know? But I don't know why. And it was so weird, right? Imagine you bring a backpack to Disneyland, the backpack it's a drawstring bag. It ain't even big as this. But every time they walked in line and every time they stopped, they would put the bag on the floor and like leave it there. And I'm like, what the fuck do you guys have in that bag that you guys have to keep putting it on the floor and like literally pick it up and then drop it again? Just keep it on your fucking back. But like I said, I'm not trying to stare at niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to mind my business. I'm not trying to let that even. I really didn't want to notice that, but it just kept happening. You know what I'm saying? Whew. Like I said, I noticed you too close when you bumping into me. So they bumped into me one time. He's trying to say my bad. I look at the little nigga and I just scooted over. I'm just like, bro, chill. Like in reality, I could trip on you because nigga, you've been like I said, y'all really in my space. Y'all really could just can you? I'll just back the fuck up a little bit. But I guess niggas don't be trying to do that shit, bro. Oh man, that shit be me. I hate when I do this because I'm like, it's stuff like that. It's so much things to be mad about. I hate to be mad about shit like that. Pretty much what I'm saying. But it is what it is. This what they put me in, you know. So essentially, after I do Midway Mania, I couldn't have won. It was not even about because I was like, oh, so I know some of you guys probably like, so you lost in Spider-Man. Did you win in Midway Mania? No, I didn't win either because literally in the second to last game, my TV or the screen that was supposed to show the shit was off. And I told myself, I said, Caduce, you need to tell them that shit is not working. But then I was like, nigga, this ain't my job. They're homies. I was like, you know what? Man, somebody on this same seat knew this wasn't working and didn't say anything. It's not my job to go say something. Fuck these niggas. Not fuck these niggas. It's not that. But I was just upset. I'm like, the game that gives me the most points where I can basically make up for the lost points wasn't working. I don't want to play no more, you know? So after I did Toy Story Midway Mania, immediately head over to the credit coaster because now it's open. So I try to do the single rider line, and everything is all good. I'm essentially behind this Asian girl, you know what I'm saying? That ends up being really cool. I'm saying she ends up being really cool because how the single rider line works for a credit coaster in particular is you get a ticket, you wait in line, and then your group basically goes through an elevator, walks across the other side, comes down the elevator, and then it's basically, depending on the order that you guys had, they're going to call out single rider, and then you guys, in that group, y'all go. So, I noticed quickly, I said, damn, I don't think we really established who's going first or who's going this. So I was just like, you know what? I don't mind being last. I don't care, you know what I'm saying, type shit. When it started getting down to the last few of us, like let's say 3 or 4 of us, that was less than a single rider group. In my group, let's just say call it Group A, they sent another group of single riders too. And I don't know if this is by design, but in my head, I'm like, well, if I just got sent to the single riders and they asked for a single rider, and I see there's already single riders that's been waiting here, I'm not going to be the first. I'm not going to go, you know? You would think, right? I guess I thought that was just common knowledge. No, bro, because essentially, after, you know, we get there, and it's like the last few of us, a person from Group B attempted to kind of like go before one of the people in Group A, and I was like, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to look because, like I said, the Asian girl, she, you know, I guess she's like me. If it happened to me, I don't trip. But when it happened to somebody in my group, I'm like, okay, well, nah, I ain't gonna go for that. So essentially, she wasn't gonna say anything, and she was just gonna let the person go. And I was like, hey, our group is not done yet. Can you just let all of us get called first before you guys start trying to like get called? Man, another Asian family, like I said, and I'm not even trying to be on something where it's like, oh, it was a connection or a communication issue. I think it's just the what is it called? A culture thing of Disney, not a culture thing of like black, white, Hispanic, Asian. A Disney culture thing. I think Disney just needs to establish like I said, the ordering system, because they're not wrong essentially for like coming off of the elevator. I've been told that I have the single rider line. When they call a single rider, I put my shit up and I go. It's like basically saying, is there anybody that has just one? Oh, yeah, exactly. They're the same thing. It's like saying, like, is there any single person available? And the first person that is available just takes it. But in reality, like I said, because of the fact that we just kind of was just in line, just kind of underlinely mentally aligned that we kind of had in place of like, okay, well, hey, I was behind her, I'll go after her. So when I seen this Asian family, I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be rude to y'all, but I'm like, y'all gotta wait. And I think they misinterpreted me saying wait as in they gotta wait, period. I was like, no, just wait for us. Like, let all my peoples go and then you guys go. Because essentially, I was the last person, so when I went, the little kid still was trying to go, and I was like, hey, you gotta wait. And then they called him after me, and I felt bad because I was like, wait, I probably should have broke it down to them, but it was just such a fast situation that I'm like, he might think I'm saying he gotta just wait, period. I'm like, no, I'm just saying wait, like, let us go, let group A go, and then group B, y'all go. Anywho, that was just funny, because like I said, I just thought that was, I'm not talking to you, Google. I just thought that was really funny, because I was like, okay, that's really cool how that happened. Google, stop. So I just thought that was really funny, because I was like, dang, like, this is, I'm like, Disney. I'm like, because, but pretty much I said that to say that, like, because even the girl next to me, she was like, yeah, this happens to me all the time. I'm like, man, I felt seen. So I'm like, bro, as a solo amusement park goer, man, you guys don't understand how many times I get skipped, cut, or I guess, because I don't go for it. You don't know how many times people attempt to try to skip and cut me, and I'm just like, you guys not see me here? No, you did see me here. You just thought I wasn't going to say anything. You thought I was going to just roll over and let's let you bitch me. Fuck out of here. I will not be going for none of that shit. But essentially, my last ride was pretty much Incredicoaster. You know, after that, every other ride is like kind of like, I feel like 16 and under. I'm just calling a spade. And I don't really care for no Ferris wheel. I don't got no girl with me. Well, you know what I'm saying? I can't fucking a Ferris wheel by myself, you know? But after I pretty much finished my day at Disney, I went to Ma Pizza in Downey, and then I landscaped, and the liquor from Saturday all hit me when I was landscaping, because I was in that car hot, baking, you know, just faded, and like literally once I did what I did, I literally had to regurgitate. So I ended up throwing up, but I recovered, you feel me? And then I headed home, where I basically, like, I thought I was good, you know what I'm saying, from the throw up. I thought after I threw up, I was like, cool. But I was like still, like, my body was still, I guess, suffering from it, or I was still feeling it, because essentially, I don't know, I really couldn't go to, I was just done for. I'm going to be honest, I was just done for after that. But nah, that was Sunday. Then on Monday is a new month, so Monday was the first day of June. So I was already on it, made my TikTok, and then headed to the gym with my homies, got ready for the workout. Headed to pick up some cash, because I was around the landscaping equipment. So after my gym, before I went to the gym, I got some cash, went into the gym. So after I work out, I made my TikTok. Then I headed to the landscape store. Then I got my product, and then I landscaped there before I headed home, where I ate the leftover pizza, because I got some Blaze pizza from the day before when I went to Disney. Ate some plantain, and then I took my nap. After my nap, I woke up and started my to-do list. Did my onboarding for my job, and then I attempted to pay my speeding ticket, but that shit got complicated, because for one, the officer that wrote my ticket, he put my birthday wrong. So my birthday is November 13th, 1999. This nigga gonna put November 13th, 2026. So when I attempted to look up the ticket online and try to find it, I couldn't find the ticket. And luckily for me, I'm not easy to give up anymore. I'm not quick to give up anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quick to anger. I'm still quick to anger, but I'm not quick to give up anymore, because essentially after after I checked to see, because I was like, well, I don't know why I lost my shit of thought for a moment. I'm so sorry. But I was like, at that time I couldn't find a ticket online. I was like, let me try to call these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want this shit to end up on my freaking DMV record. But I called them, and then I checked with the phone. It came up and everything. And it was just so irritating, because I was trying to pay, and I was trying to use this quad pay thing, and it wasn't working. So I was like, I gotta pay this fucking ticket in full. So more than likely, I'm gonna extend it for another 3 months, because fuck police. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rushing to pay y'all niggas. Fuck y'all. For real. Fuck y'all. So I was like, I'm gonna do that later. But then after that, I play some GTA before make some more rice and then call it a night. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10 day. So that was Monday. Then on Tuesday, happy blessed carne asada Tuesday. Woke up and I know I had to be on time because I had a dentist appointment. I basically put a consultation out to get Invisalign. I have a really good smile. I had braces and everything, but I have a crossbite to where some of my teeth is coming up, some of it is going back. Some like basically some shit that I feel like I want to basically get straight. And whoo, boy. Oh boy. Because basically, I brushed my teeth, did my thing, headed to the gym with my niggas, did a core day, and then I was the first one there. That didn't really matter, but pretty much after we finished our workout, I leave because I was like, let me head out early on so I can make it to my appointment. My appointment was 11:45. I was like, let me leave here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like almost 10 something. But I realized I was like, I have a little more time than I give myself credit for. So I go home to change my clothes. Then I head to my appointment. So then when I get to my appointment, they do an X-ray and they give me an estimate. The estimate is like $5,000. So to get Invisalign, the whole process is gonna be like 5 bands. And you're asking for They were asking for $1,265 down payment. And I'll be paying $345 a month. And I was ready to do it right there and there. Of course, that would have set me back. But I was like, man, let me just get this shit out the way. Because like I said, I really want to fix my smile. But I got blessed because they basically let me know, like, hey, we locked this estimate in for 6 months. So if you come back within 6 months, we can still give you this price. So I was like, oh, even better. It's not that I can't afford it right now, but I know that like I have other stuff that I want to pretty much put myself in a position to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? $1,200 right there on the back. That's a lot of money to just spend right there. So I was like, oh man, let me save up $1,200 these next 6 months. So that way, by the time, probably month 5, I'll probably pull back up on them. Probably a month before my birthday and shit, and get that shit started. But essentially, the process is pretty simple. I guess every 2 weeks or every night, I'm going to be wearing the Invisalign. And then after 2 weeks, I would pretty much change to the next pair. And that's why I guess it's so expensive, because when they do it, they pretty much print out the whole process at one time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they already kind of like create and curate the process that you want to go through to get your teeth straight. And they already do it for you and stuff. So I was like, that's really cool. And like I said, I feel like the dentist himself was really cool. It was really, in my opinion, they really did a good job. I feel like they did a really nice job at like just breaking down the whole experience and what I was going to be doing and like how the whole process was going to like work. So I feel like it just made me feel really comfortable. It was just a surprise for me. So I was like, and like I think they knew, or I guess they assumed that's a lot, because they didn't seem like they were not pressed to have me pay for it that day. They were like, oh yeah, like so like now you have the information, just follow up, And I was like, oh, I thought you guys would be trying to like get me to do this right now. And then like I said, as a young black man in America, in LA in particular, I gotta keep it a beat. I do not have no health insurance either. It is what it is. It is what it is. That nigga Trump made that shit too expensive, and I could not afford it. So, I'm trying to find a way to get it to covered California to where I could pay $0 a month. Because, man, if I am gonna get no offense, but if I'm gonna get the government cheese, I don't want to pay for it. Dead homies on me. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to fuck with covered California. But when I did the estimate, they already acknowledged, like, yeah, dude, you don't got no insurance, so we'll give you a discount for that, which wasn't that much. I'm gonna just be honest. But it's dentist work. Dentist work any health work is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they were doing that so I could see. Maybe. Like, what if it's Invisalign? Do you shop around? Do you get estimates from other places? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if that's the thing. Like like with a car price. But after that, I pretty much head to the car, landscape, and then I head home. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, well, shit. Done my appointment. It's Tuesday. Only thing I gotta get ready for is the run for the night. So I head home and I eat my rice and stew with the plantain. Then I take some nap. I play some GTA, some Fortnite before I get ready for my run. I head out to Culver City and I made it and I ran 6 miles. Very nice, very comfortably placed. I was wishing that I could go faster, but it's a marathon and I get better each day. I think the issue that I'm learning now or I've seen is that once I start getting tired, I start slowing my strides down. So I need to, like, this video was basically told me that this video was like, hey, if you want to be better in those moments of like really, really tiredness, use dumbbells and Stairmaster. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how they're gonna look at me when I try to do that shit at Planet Fitness, but that nigga said pretty much it just helps, like, for moments where you're getting tired, it helps your body stay more activated longer. So after I finished my 6 miles, I landscaped, then I did a call in order for some carne asada fries at La Esquina. Big shout out to them. So I head over there, pick up my carne asada fries, and I landscape on the way to the crib, and then I did my journal, watch some TV as I eat my food, and I relax before the night is over. So now we're caught up to yesterday. So Wednesday, Happy Blessed Universal Wednesday, I woke up and decided to confirm to go to Universal because yesterday was Global Running Day. So I could have went to my run club, Keep It 100, because they had a meetup, a 5K. But, you know, like with Disney, I already reserved a day, and, like, it's not easy to cancel them things. And I couldn't cancel the thing, to be honest. Not that I couldn't cancel. I couldn't move it over. I could cancel it, but I wanted to go, just not the same day. So I had to make a choice, and I was like, you know what? Ultimately, I did just run 6 miles yesterday. You know, you don't go to Universal that often, or as much as you used to. Why not? Fuck it. And it's specifically a members day, so you have a reason to go. Fuck it. Why not? So I decided, I was like, I'm gonna go to Universal. So I woke up, made my TikTok, did my shit, and then I headed to the gym. When I head to the gym, you know, like I said, I'm be honest, I've been working out with the homies, and they just been having me at different places. I'm just put it like that. This place in particular, though, was not it today, because I guess let's put it like this: I don't have a key to get in. Let's call it spade a spade. I don't have a key to get access to the gym. So when I got in the gym through my method, I guess I will see. You know what I'm saying? So when the nigga seen me, he kind of came up to me and followed up to me and was like, hey, you know, I noticed how you got in here. That's not allowed, you know what I'm saying? Because this place is for, you know, people that have keys and shit. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a friend of a friend. I didn't even think of this until my nigga Drew said it. But it's like, you know, I'm only here on behalf of somebody else. So I'm like, you're right. I don't have that information type shit. So he kind of left and was like, okay, well, cause I already pretty much told him, I'm like, the person that put me onto here and that might have a little bit, you know, more answers for you is on the way. You feel me? So if you want to just ask them, but I don't really have an answer to give you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that time, I wasn't thinking to myself, like, are you kicking me out yet or not? Like, I was just like, hey, I'm thinking I'm still gonna be able to work out type shit. So essentially, I continue my workout, doing my shit. My nigga Drew gets there. We doing our shit, working out. And then, like, 47 minutes into the workout, because like I said, you know, I've been doing my shit. So 47 minutes later, I noticed him. I said, oh, man. I said, Drew. I said, there that nigga go right there. I told him straight up. I said, hey. Because I'm like, I'll be honest. And that's why I felt bad. Because I'm like, why does this nigga have to talk to me, bro? But I'm glad I didn't lie. Because, you know, lying in a situation like that just makes it worse. But I was just annoyed because I'm like, now that this nigga's talked to me, I can't cap. You feel me? I can't go back, you know what I'm saying, to where it was. We're already here now. Because essentially, he pretty much follows up, and this time around, he's not leaving. This time around, he's standing, and he's like just staring at us, because now it's me and Drew. And he was like, yeah, like, so the person that, you know, you got permission to be in from in here, are they here? And we like, nah. And my nigga Drew like, well, I'm gonna hit the nigga, and like, I'm gonna see what he says, but in the meantime, I'm gonna finish my workout. Man, that nigga used a corporate word. He was using loaded words, so I already knew. I was like, nah, Drew, I don't think this won't work out for us, because literally, as he was explaining how we got in there, he was like, yeah, you know, because the way you guys got in there is technically trespassing. So I'm like, oh, when niggas say that word trespass, they're basically saying that, nigga, I can call the police and get you trespassed. So I was like, oh. When he said that, I'm like, oh yeah, he know what he doing. He know what he doing. He using shit that like you can't really argue with. Like I said, you can argue with it, but I'm one of those niggas that I'm old enough now to know not to argue when I'm in the wrong. You feel me? I know I'm gonna leave that shit alone. You feel me? So essentially, I was like, oh, okay, fuck it. I'm not, mind you, because like I said, I already feel like I already said I don't need to say it the first time. Either you gonna let us work out or not. My nigga Drew like, hey, so like I'm with a friend of a friend, the nigga not here, and like I said, the homie's not answering, so it's looking bad on our part. I ain't gonna lie, but we're dead ass. We're like, nigga, we just here because we, you know what I'm saying, we just here to work out. We just here with the homies type shit. But nah, that nigga was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to go. That nigga said, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to leave because, you know, you guys gotta be here with the guests. And I was like, alright, bro. And like I said, I didn't make no big deal because I didn't want it to turn it from a professional thing to a paid thing. And essentially, what me and Drew kind of came to the conclusion was that, like, we had to have it snitched on. It just seemed to, I don't know, it didn't seem like they just generally just, like, happened to pro. Like, it didn't seem like happenstance. Like, they just happened to see a nigga without the key, without the... It seemed like, nah, somebody told these niggas, nah, man, there's these niggas that be working out over here. Go check on them. Because, man, he left and came back. And I feel like that's thirsty. You feel me? You don't get paid enough for that. But technically speaking, he probably do. But, nah. After that, you know what I'm saying, I just really pretty much, you know, was landscaping, or not pretty much. I was going to landscape, but then me and Drew, because he had to both leave, was like, you know what, I mean, let's just, you know, landscape together real quick. So my nigga, you know, he strolled up real quick, and then, it's funny too, 'cause I'm like, I hope Drew see this. I'm like, you're a funny nigga. How you say let's do it? How you say let's landscape, and then you leave a quarter into the session? That's how I was like, I was like, brother, half the time it took for you to half the time that it would have been of us landscaping was him preparing the landscape, and then literally the moment that the landscape got to me, he said, yeah, pretty much like, yeah, after you're done, I'm about to head out. So I was like, what the hell? So essentially, after I, you know, landscape a bit with Drew, he has to work, and I was like, well, shit, you can't get something started and not finish it. So I freaking continue on. I do my own landscaping session and shit. So then I head home, and then I ate I ate my leftover carne asada fries. After, of course, you know, taking my shower. Then I woke up, and I took a nap, and I woke up, and then I played some GTA before I got a little bored, because, man, nobody tells you how hard it is to play GTA when you don't have to hustle no more. Like, well, and that's what I'm saying. I think I'm just being lazy to use fast cars, because in reality, I have an oppressor. I have an oppressor. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just really what it is. I just gotta start using the oppressor more often. Because me, I try to make it so realistic. I try to use cars. I kind of do this. You get tired of driving GTA. I just want to be at the location and do the mission. But pretty much, I got a little bored of GTA. So then I was like, you know what? Let me just start getting ready for my Universal Day. So I woke up, started getting ready, wore my sweatsuit, got my backpack ready. Big shout out to Tiani for the small backpack that she got me, because, bruh, when I say ever since Universal changed their locker rooms to the small lockers, that backpack has been coming in clutch. It's been coming in clutch. Because pretty much all I had in there was flask, headphones, meta glasses, car keys, wallet, CarMax, and that's it. And that was really all I needed. You feel me? That's really all I need for a Universal trip, for a music park trip. Anyway, for real. But essentially, I put all that in there. Headed to the liquor store real quick to buy me the Terramana. That's why, as you can see, it's a small one, because it was just meant for. It's just meant for these last 2 days. I'm going up this weekend, so I'm probably gonna have to buy another one. Honestly, the reason, that's what I'm saying. The reason why I get my own liquor and stuff is because it'd be more expensive when you buying it in small. So I like, with my landscape, I like to buy in bulk. So yeah, essentially, just letting you guys know that, yeah, so a Terramana bottle will be bought this weekend. You feel me? Yeah, I'm chilling on the Don Julio. The Don Julio be making me act the Folio. You feel me? And it was cool at first, but I don't be liking to act the Folio anymore. But nah. So essentially, went to the liquor store, got said bottle. After I got Cebado, prepared my landscaping. And that's when I also decided to take one of the chocolate squares, because I'm like, we finna be activated tonight. We're at Universal, my boy. So I took the chocolate square, landscaping. I'm on the way to Universal. It's kicking. I'm busting. I'm feeling myself. I'm like, yeah, this finna be a good night. So they had of course, preferred parking. Didn't do that. Didn't want to pay for no parking. So I got general parking. It wasn't that busy though because they literally had us on the second floor. So after I did my general parking, I pretty much, exactly took some more of this, headed to the park. Prior to the day, I already had did my research into what rides was going to be available, and what time they were going to close. So I thought I had a foolproof plan to where I was to be able to see everything. But no, in execution, I was a little lackluster, or I guess I wasn't moving fast enough because essentially, I think that was my fault. I think, looking back, it was my fault because yesterday, like I said, this is where I got this from. It's a Universal Studios Hollywood past member park takeover, and it was from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. So this is what they had for us. Welcome past members. They had a Coca-Cola zone on the lower lot. It was a DJ, lounge, beverage sampling, games, and photo op. I didn't do none of the Coca-Cola zone. I don't really care for the Coca-Cola though. Then they had the upper lot. They had a DJ and a silent disco. Then they had an exclusive beverage, cherry fizzy cola, available for purchase at Mel's Diner. And that's how I was able to get this cup because this is like it's like a collector's cup. And I'm a collector, so I said, shit, I'm all for it. Dead homies. So I was excited as fuck. But I do not drink Coca-Cola, so essentially I had to tell them like, hey, or I asked them, I said, hey, can I get this cup with just a cup and water? And they were like, I could do it. Like, it's always so funny because I'm like, as someone that's worked in retail, as someone that's worked in fast food, as someone that's worked in a good amount of places, when someone says they can't do something or when someone can't make an adjustment to your order, you have to look at the adjustment that you're asking for. Are you asking for a reasonable adjustment, or the person just being unreasonable to adjust? For the most part, if the adjustment is reasonable, it's really just like you said. That's really like I said, that's really when you see is the person just an asshole, or like do they have a real reason behind not doing it? This person was an asshole. This person was clearly a real ass nigga because essentially he didn't just do it for me. He followed up and literally took my order and went to go get the cup for me and then brought it back. So real nigga, shout out to that gentleman right there. So then after that, that really was what I was there for. Then, and it sucks because as I'm looking at it now, I'm like, I could have took way more advantage of the Universal. I was really taking advantage of the park itself, but like Universal, this was a night to really like spend some money because special 20% on food and beverages for past members today only. Special 20% merchandise discount for past owners. Today is only 20% discount. Sheesh. World famous studio tour. Last tram at 9:15. So it was a dark studio tour. Loved it. And then Mario Kart Browser Challenge will close at 10:15. So that's where I fucked up at. So I got there. I already had the plan. I said I'm gonna go to the Terror Tram and I'm gonna get that out the way. My issue was when I went to the tram, I should have went straight to Mario Kart. I wasn't paying attention to time, and I wasn't paying attention to the time that it closed because I literally finished the tram, went down like it was nothing, and then I went to Mummy, finished Mummy, enjoyed it. It's cool. Then I went to Transformers, and immediately after Transformers, I tried to walk to Mario Kart, and I seen that it was closed. And it sucked because they let some people get on, but it looked like those people was being led by some workers, so I let them have it. But essentially, I didn't get to go on Mario Kart. So after I leave that, I go to Jurassic World. Oh, and the best part about it too, my skip the line was working at this time too. So I guess a lot of people that at Universal are platinum members. No, a lot of people are gold members. That's really what it is, gold and silver, because the skip the line was not that busy. In a lot of rides, I was pretty much by myself in that skip the line. So that was really dope. You know what I'm saying? Like even more
even more reason to be feeling myself as a platinum member. You feel me? So that was really nice, really fun. But then yeah, so after I do Jurassic Park, I head upstairs to go finish the upper lot. When I head upstairs, I go do Simpsons ride. Simpson ride had a little issue with it at first starting, but eventually they get it up and running. So we do the Simpsons ride. Hurt my back as always, on brand for that ride. So after that, that's when I put two and two together. That because what I end up doing, what I fucked up on. But that's what I'm saying. I know I'm not tripping. Or no, maybe I'm not tripping, but maybe I just might have misread it. Because essentially, there was something that was available at Moe's that I thought. But that's what I'm saying. The worker made it seem like it might have been available, right? But I don't think so. But essentially, right, I went to Moe's Diner because I thought the special drink and the special cup was going to be at Moe's bar. So I went there and I asked, and the guy was like, no, it's all sold out. And I was confused. I'm like, it's barely like 9, 8 something. How is it all sold out? If that shit was for the members. Then I read this and I seen Mel's Diner, so I was like, maybe I misread it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go look it up and see if there really was a specific thing. Let me look it up real quick. Let me see. Special edition cup USH member night. Members take over. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, see, exactly. I know I wasn't tripping. So yeah, I know I wasn't tripping. Because, yeah. It was a special pass member beverage. Oh, so it's from June 1st to June. So it's all month. So it's not just on that day. So they've teamed up with Coca-Cola to bring our past members a special drink, Cherry Fizz Cola, poured in a keepsake Coca-Cola souvenir cup. This unique beverage will be available for purchase only at Mel's Diner throughout the month of June. It's a hidden gem not listed on the menu, just requested by name. So yeah, I don't know what souvenir cup they have at Moe's because I know I have the Flamin' Moe's. So I have this. You know me, I'm collecting all of them, like freaking the what you call it? What is it called? Collecting them like the Infinity Stones. You feel me? Every collectible, you know, because you could use these, but that's why I like collectibles like these. Cause it's like, is it collectible? But it's practical too, so I could drink out of it. You feel me? And this one specifically says, oh man, never mind. Sidekick rock. Never mind. I thought it was gonna say Universal on it. It doesn't say Universal, but nah. So pretty much I got this one the last trip I went to Universal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get today's one. So when I get there, I head straight to I head straight to the guy to ask for it, and he said they all sold out. But now I'm confused because, like I said, I just read it and I confirmed that like it was at Mel's Diner. So I don't know what cup they had at Moe's that they sold out from, but I'm glad I didn't waste my time there. But then yeah, so after I do that, pretty much, because once I have the cup, I'm already knowing, I'm like, okay, you gotta be careful because certain rides are not allowed drinks. So I take the cup and then I go to Pets, finish Pets. Then after that, I head to Invincible Me. Then I head to Harry Potter Land, and I was like so thirsty, just seen a butterbeer, and I was like, let me get some butterbeer. But then I remembered, when you get butterbeer, when you get drink, you can't go on fucking none of these rides. You can't go to Kung Fu Panda because they're gonna make you finish it before you even get in there. And I know with Harry Potter, I'm gonna have to put my backpack in the locker. So once I was in that situation, I was like, you know what, it's all good, man. So pretty much, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just leave it alone. So I just pretty much ended my night with getting some. What the hell? Costco ain't never sent me no email before. What? Lulu Money Business? Yo, so this, you are receiving an email.
Yeah, this is a. Okay, yeah, this is a spam, and I'm blocking them too. And I just got an email from Five Guys. The classic combo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little burger. Why the fuck would I? And that's why that shit was expensive. No wonder. But nah. So I finished my night with what you call it, with getting a butter beer, and then I just head back to my car. You feel me? Like I said, landscape, and then I head over to Cane's, and I get some Cane's. I get myself a chicken sandwich. Get my chicken sandwich, and I'm just so done for because I'm off the chocolate, so I'm busting. And I took another chocolate too after I left the park, because why not? And for me, I thought 2 chocolates was gonna be too. I thought one was gonna be too intense for me, so I was like 2 might be too much. But after taking the 1, I was like, nah, I could have taken the 2. But I'm glad I did, because I feel like it allowed it to hit better and smoother. Because essentially, on the way home, I'm busting, bro. I'm just listening to music, just vibing, man. Get to Cane's. I'm still vibing, you know what I'm saying? Forget my Cane's, landscape, then I head home. And I was supposed to turn on my street, but I ended up going past it, and I'm like, I'm not even thinking, I'm just going. I'm like, I'm not gonna turn until I see my street. Then I realized, I'm like, I think I done passed it, so I have to make a U-turn. Then I head home, you know what I'm saying? And I eat my Cane's, you know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10 day. And I'm really happy because, well, either way I would have been happy. I would have preferred to be able to go to do a run, because like I said, health, exercise. But I did enjoy myself because I went to Universal and I was for a member, so I'm a member. Sorry guys, when I get like this, it's because I guess when I talk, I'm not letting enough air come in as I am letting it out, because it's like a hiccup is trying to show itself, but I'm not going for it. I'm telling you guys, this always happens when I'm recording a podcast. I'm a bunch of mucus just. Like, if I slept in like super duper cold conditions, I would get it. But I think it don't be that cold in my room. Or maybe it do and I just don't realize it. It is what it is. But now we're going to be talking about the movie, The Backrooms. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be telling you guys what I thought about it. So, let's go to IMDb. That's so funny because I'm like, oh, wow, that's actually scary. But so what is The Backrooms? And just so you guys know, this is your first time here, spoilers ahead, spoiler review. You feel me? So, The Backrooms is a movie about after a therapist patient is a movie that involves a that goes into, because I'm like, how do I start the sentence? The Backrooms is a movie about after a therapist patient disappears into a dimension beyond reality, she must venture into the unknown to save him. So this movie is directed by Kane Parsons, and he is a YouTuber. So this comes in line with what I feel like Hollywood has been giving, the young niggas a chance, really, I guess you could say, with the YouTubers, and they've been fucking with them. So essentially, what is The Backrooms? The Backrooms is like an online, I guess you could say, it's not trend, but it's an online docu-series. It's an online series that's been around a while. It's about liminal spaces. Pretty much, this guy, Kane Pearsons, was making videos where these yellow rooms that was beyond our dimension, but at the same time in our dimension. And then that's what that was, right? And then this was a movie explaining that. So, but in this version, he's actually fleshed it out a whole lot more. He's given characters, there's personality, there's stakes, there's tension, you know what I mean? So that aspect of the movie is definitely there. But essentially, right, we start off, because like I said, I got there late, I ain't gonna lie. We start off with pretty much Clark, who is played by Chiwetel, I'm sorry, sir. Chiwetel Ejiofor. I butchered his name. But pretty much he is Clark, the patient, in the story, and we pretty much start off with him getting he's in a session with his therapist, and we're not shown this at first, but you know, we learned that he pretty much got kicked out of his house. We've known that he's a manager or owner of a furniture store that's not doing good. We know that he has 2 employees, and that Mary, like I said, is his therapist. And then I'm honestly skipping some parts too. We actually start off with a clip, or I guess you could say some found footage of what looks to be someone exploring the back rooms. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the movie starts off with, is a guy exploring the back rooms. And in his exploration, he actually sees a monster, and I guess we're led to assume that the monster must have got him, because, you know, the footage cuts out, and then we see that it's a TV, and the TV turns off, and then we see a group of what looks to be scientists watching the tape, you know. So after they watch the tape, that's when we get, you know, Clark, and then we get him in his therapy session, and that's when he's basically talking to a therapist about, like, his aggression, and we're kind of seeing insights to who he is as a person and why he might be in the situation that he's in. Then we fast forward to him, you know, pretty much at the furniture store, pretty much complaining that, like, you know, hey, my power bill is kind of still high, and I've been trying to get stuff to, like, handle it and stuff. So one day, he calls someone to come and check it out, or one day after he does, because, you know, there's a scene where he does a commercial, and he, like, you know, advertises the the furniture store. He breaks a chair. That's important, because then later on we follow up, and, like, we see that he's actually been living in a furniture store. So, like I said, he's assumed that him and his wife are not getting along, or they're not fucking with each other, because she kicked him out the house. Crazy, right? Kicked his ass out the house, and then he's been staying in the furniture store. Because he's been staying in the furniture store, he kind of, like, was able to be there or present during one of the moments that the furniture store was tripping. In his discovery, or in his, you know, investigation of the store tripping, he goes downstairs, which even the way the fucking furniture store is set up, it already looks like the back rooms. But in his exploration of the breaker, we end up seeing that there's 2 knobs that don't really seem to be attached to anything. And essentially, once he calls, like I said, because he called, like, an electrician to come check it out, electrician was like, I don't know what these belong to, or whatever. Fast forward, that night that he was there by himself, he goes downstairs, and he's able to see, like, in the wall what looks to be like a door closed, and, like, you know, the light being able to be shining through, but it's the wall. He decides to walk over there, and he puts his hand through, and he enters the back room. And I ain't gonna lie, it could have been a little better, but I guess I just liked how cool, like, that whole scene just, like, it just seems so out of place. It seems out of place, but, like, not out of place for the story. It just seemed like, whoa, like, could you imagine just discovering a different dimension like that? Like, the way it just seems so natural, like, in my opinion. Like, I liked how he just was just, man, something's going on in my store. These lights is flickering. The bills is tripping. Because that's why I thought originally. I thought he was just there because of the lights. But now, when I think back, it's like, nah, because his wife left him. So I was like, oh, wow, so that's interesting. But nah, he went down there. He goes to check, and then, like, he sees a whole bunch of furniture. He sees, like I said, the yellow rooms and stuff. And it's like, it just feels creepy. It just feels like, you know, someone shouldn't be there. And then he assumes that, you know, someone must have been stealing furniture and stuff. But once he goes up to it, he sees that, like, nah, this area had to have made it. You know, he's pretty smart. He's able to put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly, you know. And he's an architect, so keep that in mind as well. So, essentially, in there, once he started going there, he started, like, mapping the area. So, when we first see him mapping the area, it's like a small version of the area and stuff like that. So, we're not thinking anything of it. But when we follow up with him later on, it's a full-blown, you know what I'm saying, real-life map. And, like, we could tell that, nah, this guy has really been, I'm not able to tell at the time, but, like, after further, you know, looking into the movie, we're able to tell that, nah, this nigga's been, if he's been going in and out, he's basically been fucking with the back rooms a lot more than he should have been. You know what I'm saying? And he's been there. So once we able to put 2 and 2 together as the audience about that, we kind of just see where one thing just leads to another, and it just gets worse and worse from there, because essentially he kind of finds the back rooms, and he tries to tell his therapist about it, like, hey, like, I found this one place, I don't know what it is, but and she's like, I don't really believe you, my nigga, but okay. And he's like, you don't believe me? Okay, bet. When I get approved, you know, just basically you're sorry. So we're seeing that, like, you know, he has a point to prove. You know, he since what he's been through with his wife, he's kind of been reflecting that in the rest of his life and like in other aspects that probably don't even warrant that for real. You know, because like, why do you need to prove to your therapist that the backrooms exist? But whatever. Essentially, and this is where I feel like we start seeing that, like, okay, like, nah, this nigga's not the nicest guy, or he might be another bear. You feel me? He might not be the victim. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, he invites his, you know, subordinates, the people that work for him, which is a woman and a man, and they're together. And the man happens to want to be like a director. Pretty much, he just does something with cameras, you know. The movie had to make him something with cameras, you know what I'm saying? Duh. And, like, he pretty much was there earlier to film the commercial with Clark. So Clark basically calls them up, or pulls up on them, I ain't gonna lie. He goes to their house, and he's like, hey, I need you guys to help me with something. Doesn't tell them what he needs them to help him with. Doesn't tell them the stakes. Doesn't tell them that they might die. He just pretty much leads them into the back rooms. They get there. She's not fucking with it, the girlfriend's not fucking with it, but the boyfriend's like, oh, yo, this is so cool. Everything's cool. He's showing them the whole place. Then there comes to this one area that seems unreasonable without, like, proper measures, you know? And Clark, being that, like I said, I don't know if he just... Because, like I said, I don't know if he was planning to kill these niggas, but he clearly was planning to explore and, like, get something. Because, essentially, he kind of convinces the young man to say, hey, do you mind going down there and seeing what you see? And, like, we're going to tie this rope to you and shit. And then if anything happens, just pull the rope. We'll pull you back up. Simple enough. But, of course, it's a movie, so you know it's not going to go good. Because, essentially, once he's on his way down there, he sees how, like, the backrooms kind of operates in a sense. Because the shirt that he was wearing earlier, we see a copy of the shirt down there. So then he's like, oh, okay, whatever, nothing crazy. But then he sees the monster, and he's like, oh, yo, I'm out of here. So they managed to pull him up, but the issue then was the monster was able to get a hold onto the rope and yanked him back. And I don't know what type of knock this nigga Clark did. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he did, and that's why I was like, I don't know if he did it on purpose, because I don't know if he did it on purpose knowing that the monster was down there, because pretty much they tried to untie that nigga, he got yanked down. And because he was attached to a bed, the bed had pulled itself with the string and it brought them down. So now they're both down there and he's already been taken. So he's cooked. She goes down there pretty much like, I need to get my nigga. She gets cooked too and she dies. And Clark essentially, you know, we don't see at first what happens, but we just kind of like are led to assume, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, like, he was able to manage to get out of there, because literally after we see one of the researchers watching a commercial of Clark's thing, and then we see how, like, he kind of puts two together, like, oh shit, that must be where the backrooms opening is at. Because essentially, I forgot how exactly he managed to get his therapist to pull back up on him, but essentially he was able to get the therapist to come back, and when he does, like I said, he already kind of lost me when he fucking killed the couple. But man, this nigga, he just knows how to get worse and worse, because he pretty much gets her there, and then he knocks her out, like chokes her out, puts her at a dining table, has like this weird ass intervention pretty much where like he kind of wants her to try to change him still, but subconsciously he knows he doesn't want to change, and consciously he doesn't want to change. So she pretty much is like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit, nigga. I can't help you, bro. You're a lost cause, and like, if you want to be whatever you want to be, go ahead. And then after that, he's like, you know what? That's really what I want to hear for real. Fuck all this other shit. I really want to be myself for real. So he pretty much was like, yeah, I don't want to change. And I guess that right there must have been a threat to the monster incarnation of him, because after that, his monster incarnation, his memory version of him, starts eating him. the girl Mary, she started running away, and that whole chase scene was like, whew, it was a lot. It was a lot because it was such a slow, drawn out experience that I'm surprised it creeped me out that much. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was just the way that the Clark monster looked was just so tiring and like it's creepy. It was like, oh man, could you imagine really being chased by something like this, bro? He beat Jeebies. And then essentially, Mary, you know, like I said, and that's why I think the movie did a good job too. In her running, we're able to see more of the back rooms. We're able to just see a lot more that goes on and shit. And then, yeah, she manages to escape, but she doesn't escape outdoors. She actually escapes into a memory version of the back rooms of the, furniture store. And that's what I'm saying. That's one creepy aspect about the back rooms. It works so fast. Like there was a point where like when she left, I thought she was free. She was still in the back rooms, bro, and that shit would have been so creepy because like it pretty much is like AI slop. It's like it recreated what you wanted to make, but when you started paying attention, you noticed that it wasn't really what it is. And like in doing that, the monster ended up catching up to her, and she ain't gonna lie, she almost was about to let it Loki just like take it, you know, pause, but they had a trap set for something and everything, and then ended up seeing her. So they capture and not kidnap because I don't think it was really kidnapping, but they captured the monster Clark, and then they interrogate Mary, and they're pretty much like, hey, you know, what'd you see and everything, and like how was it and shit. And she's like, before I even ask any questions, am I going to be able to leave? And he was like, it's not really up to me. And I guess we're led to assume that no, you're not going to be able to leave, baby girl. These niggas is going to kill you. Like, we can't have you just having all this information. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might as well, if anything, y'all should hire me. But, no. And that's pretty much how the movie ends. We pretty much kind of like, is left up for interpretation in the sense of, I feel like they're definitely going to do another part 2. But what happens to Mary, we kind of just let her interpret it. You know what I'm saying? And like, whether or not she's good or not, I guess we just find out next time on the other Backrooms. But that was Backrooms. I gave it a 3 out of 5. You know, I did enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie. But I think maybe for the average viewer, probably just, you know, like I said, do some research, do some homework. You know what I mean? Because some people, you know, shout out to 3C Films, are saying that you don't need to, but I really do truly feel like nah. Like having more background in that movie, in that lore, would just help it out a lot more. You feel me? So yeah, that is, like I said, the Backrooms. I definitely enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it. And you know, let me know if you guys go see it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments and stuff. But yeah, so that was the Backrooms. Never again. I'm never drinking on a podcast episode again. That shit. I don't know why. Like that's what I'm saying. I think I just need to just, if I know I want to handle anything that is going to require me to have any cognitive ability, no liquor, because fuck, bro, this should be so fucking strong, my nigga. But nah, I was going to, like I said, talk about the back Daemons in the Shadow Realm. It's really hard to talk about it because, like I said, I'm just pretty much, I guess I give my updates. I'm enjoying the show. I'm still not over the first episode. Like I said, I feel like to come and kill the whole village and then just like expect us to like fuck with you is weird. Essentially, we see that like these demons can really be, the twins are really like important, you know. And essentially, like I said, it's hard for me to explain because I don't know too much about the show, but just know I'm enjoying it and I'm staying up with it. And then I probably shouldn't be doing this, but like I said, I didn't really care for the season anyway, so I don't mind talking about it. I guess the season finale of Euphoria dropped recently too, and I guess no surprise to me, only because of the way that I feel like bro. No surprise to me because only the way that I feel like they never really allowed Rue's character to like ever really like show signs of getting clean. I kind of knew she was gonna pass away. Sorry, not sorry. So I guess her dying in the end was a surprise to people. But I guess, because like I said, I haven't watched it. I guess one thing lesson learned, it looks like she was killed. It doesn't look like she just died. It looks like she got killed by fentanyl. And I guess that's what everybody was like saying. They're like, yeah, that's the theme of this season. I'm like, are y'all sure? Because at first it looked like the theme of the season was motherfucking OnlyFans. But I guess the theme of the season is fentanyl and how easy it is to die to fentanyl. I don't know. I guess I just feel like it's not given. It's not given like they're trying to advocate against. Like I said, it does not seem like the show is advocating anything. It's like the show just has its own universe, and this is the shit that goes on in this universe. Because like I said, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm not even trying to be fucked up. You kind of could tell it wasn't gonna end good with Alamo and Rue. And that's what I'm saying. You can always tell when I really care about something the way I talk about it. You can kind of tell it wasn't going to end well with her and him when the first night she met him, she was running from her old drug dealer. Like, she's already pretty much she owned by somebody else. She goes to him and pretty much wants a job. And, like, the same day that she wants a job, somebody dies. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much he was like, hey, you talking about God is on your side? Well, let me shoot you with this gun and see if God is really on your side. That should already let you know this nigga's view of life, on your life, he doesn't really care for it. And just in general, he doesn't really care for it. And then let's take it one step further. Rue, the girl that died from the fentanyl overdose, he had you clean up the mess. So you already been implicated. Like, you already a part of this shit. So, in my opinion, like I said, either he really fucked with her, or he just knew that, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna just put her in a position to where she's a liability, but a liability that I could cut off at any time. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you guys, even as far as just probably her even beyond covering up the death, she already is a liability anyway. Because like I said, I think she was just so drugged out, she just could never really focus and just get shit done, bro. Because literally she was sent there to just deliver the drugs and literally started fucking with the strippers. And now she all of a sudden want to work with strippers. Girl, you just want to fuck them. You horny ass. Rue was not slick. She just want to fuck these. She really misses Jules. And she's trying to fill that void in her place with someone else. And I think that's why. That's what I'm saying. If the show's goal is to show what can happen with substance abuse and the effects and like the way that a person behaves and is unreasonable, then yes, they did a good job about it. If the show was trying to show that like, yeah, there's a chance, no, I ain't gonna lie. There was not showing there was no chance because like I said, I feel like they're showing us the worst and the worst of like, this is what a druggie is like. This is what an addict is like. They don't care. They don't take care of themselves. They keep getting to more and more fucked up positions and just keep making worse and worse decisions. I just feel like all Rue had to do, granted, I don't think I would ever be okay with swallowing a fucking condom-filled anything. But sis, you already got yourself in this mess from the start. Ride it out. That's probably the most realistic ending for Euphoria. You in this bad position, you know you done fucked up, right? Go fix the shit you done fucked up. And then we could go from there. But essentially, nah. You know what's funny? Because I'm like, I'm not mistaken, right? Does that mean I have two of these dishes? Yes, right? So this one is the okay looking pair. You know, you can tell it's dirty by the shoelace. You feel me? But then my newer pair ones, I'm like, are they... Like, how close are they in condition? Because they should not be close in condition, for sure. Oh, no, they're not. Yeah, they definitely not. Yeah, you can tell I only got like 2 wears in this one. I mean, they're dirty. I give them that. But you could tell these are you could tell these are the special occasion versions for sure because the laces are way cleaner. But nah. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I was irritated from the first episode. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I just feel like her decision making this season was gonna be super duper questionable. But like I said, if that's what they're trying to show happens when someone is on drugs, that every decision making they make is just questionable, then he did a great job because on God, that girl Rue needed some help. You feel me? So yeah. These niggas are funny. But nah. So yeah. That was, what I thought about Euphoria. And then like I said, there's some things that happen in this week on stuff, but nothing really crazy, What you call it? I guess we could talk about. So Rick Chow, I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna just wait for that because honestly speaking, I feel like I'm not too well versed on it. But apparently Rick Chow, this Asian guy, that killed a young brother named Cyrus Carmack Belton, he was found not guilty of his charges, and the whole situation is weird because pretty much is like, let's say for example, I go into a 7-Eleven, and then I go into the 7-Eleven and I'm like, hey, I would like to buy some water. I'm gonna go and tell them, but pretty much I go to the 7-Eleven with my backpack on, and they're like, hey, take off your backpack. So I put my backpack down, and I go to the waters. I pick up some waters, but I put it back down, and I leave. And I guess because of how he did it, they assumed that he didn't put all the items that he selected down. Man, as someone that's worked in AP, it's just so this is why you're supposed to have all 5 steps before you follow up on anybody. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna talk about this shit. 5 steps: entry, selection, concealment, maintain selection, maintain surveillance, and then exit/failure to pay. Entrance, basically you have to be able to see where and when and what section and what area that the person went into the store at what time. Selection, you have to be able to see what, where, and what they select, whether or not it was a shoe, for example. Concealment, did this person try to hide it? Did this person try to like put it onto their person? This person trying to like remove the item from view? If they did, get that. Continued surveillance. Now this is the most important part. Rule number 4 is probably the most important, if not the most important part of the 5 steps, because if you fuck up on this, you fuck up the whole thing. Because essentially, maintaining surveillance is watching them all the way through. Does this person, let's say for example, like I said, it's a wallet. When Caduce picked up the wallet and he went into the area, he went into this, did he still have the wallet with him? Because if he walks out and we're going off of the mindset that he did have it and he doesn't have it, we're going to be fucked up. Because that's why I'm like, they didn't do the due diligence, they didn't maintain surveillance, they never confirmed whether or not he still had the items or not. They just went off of what they seen earlier. Because essentially, I guess they press him. They're like, hey, pay for something. And that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine. You're being accused of something that you know you didn't do. How do you defend yourself against that? You know what I'm saying? Besides just like, I'm not tripping, type shit. Because essentially, like I said, he's a kid. My nigga runs off. He runs off. And not everybody, but pretty much Ricky Chow and his son, they chase after the boy for a while. And when they eventually catch up to him, they shoot him. And the boy passes away from his injuries. So now the issue came as, why did you shoot this unarmed young brother, and let alone chase him after the store for something that he didn't steal? So I guess the case ended up happening now, and like I said, I did do a little research and shit, because when I first seen the non-guilty thing and I'm hearing all this stuff, it just sounds so fucked up. But I guess what had happened was, in my opinion, and like I said, the lunch lady opinion or the lawyer lady opinion, it seems like the prosecutor, like, I guess they assumed that their explanation would just be so foolproof that they didn't try to go for any lesser charges. The only charge that they basically was going to try Ricky Chow on was for murder, and it was going to just be that be it only. So essentially, it's either they get him on that or they don't get him on that. And if they don't get him on that, they got to just leave everything else. So there wasn't no manslaughter, there wasn't no second degree, there wasn't anything else that could have possibly put him in jail. They took that off the table and said, we just want to go for the trial for the murder. So essentially, I guess what the defense ended up doing is they were like, okay, which like I said, I feel like they probably just took advantage of like, okay, well shit, all we have to do is make it seem like
he had a reason to shoot, for real. Because all of a sudden now they're trying to say that the boy that they were chasing, my boy, rest in peace to you, Cyrus Belton, now they're trying to say, or now they said, they claim that, or the son claims that Cyrus upped it on him. And that because of that, that's why the dad was warranted to shoot him. And the jury, I guess, agreed with that, and then they ended up finding him not guilty. And I don't know, it's just shit like this that I feel like just, I don't know, in my opinion, just like shows like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, y'all be trying to say black people don't have it hard. Y'all be trying to say we don't go through nothing, but it's like, I feel like that's a clear case of like, okay, come on, y'all. Like, 14 years old, he lost his life. He's running, like, he's running away, but decides, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's running away, but decides to turn around real quick to just point it at you, and doesn't shoot though. And he keeps running, and you decide. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, man. Because why would you chase somebody with a gun in the first place, right? You know what I'm saying? You see the nigga with the gun, and you tell your dad you see the gun. Why is your dad still chasing him? Oh, don't worry, son. I'm going to go shoot him. Like, even in that case, in the case where you see that he has a gun, but he's like, away, like, I just be like, bro, it just be so weird, because I just be like, it just don't seem like shit that niggas should be able to get away with, they don't get away with. And the shit that niggas should be, what we be thinking would be a clear, clear, open, shut case, it don't be. Realistically speaking, you would think that just hearing the fact that, hey, we chased him on the guys that we thought he stole something. Turns out he didn't. You would think that that would be enough to just at least be like, okay, well, that makes everything they did unreasonable. No, that don't take nothing into account. Now all of a sudden we're just, fuck that. We're just want to worry about the chasing part. Well, you just leave it in the chasing part, and now you put the nigga with a gun, and they said that they found a gun next to him. Man, that's just so weird, bro. Because even in the video, right, they're saying that from the reason that they thought he still had something was that he kept having his hand in his pocket. Well, bro, if the nigga, if he had his blick on him, that might be what was in his pocket. Technically speaking, he doesn't have to show that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. This case, I just feel like this makes it scary for me. I feel like it just makes me realize, or make me think that, like, hey, if I'm in this situation now, and someone thinks I'm stealing something, man, just check it. Just check it. I'm not finna run off and do nothing. I'm finna embarrass you. Even though I feel like, in reality, I feel like when I know I'm innocent, I shouldn't have to prove myself. I'm gonna overly prove myself. Like, especially when I feel like, or I know for a fact that this person is just racially chastising me. Oh yeah, we're gonna make a scene. We're gonna go viral. We're gonna go overly viral, because yeah, after this, I feel like that's the way we should stand in solidarity with Cyrus. Is let's make these people look stupid. Let's prove to these niggas that it don't be no behavior, that it just be because the nigga's black. Let's show them how unreasonable that they behaving. Let's show them how unreasonable that it is to think that, oh man. And then at the end of the day, it's just fucking water, my nigga. Even if the nigga did steal 4 waters, right? The most expensive water I've ever seen, probably like Fiji, $5 maybe. You guys couldn't live with a $20 loss, my nigga. One thing when I remember I was working at Target that I used to always say, when it came to food, just charge to the game. What if this nigga was homeless? What if he was like starving? What if he was thirsty, bro? You guys just want to kill him over that, bro? The outcome doesn't excuse the means. You know what I'm saying? Like, this young brother lost his life, all because of what? You guys assume that he stole some water? Like, that shit don't make no sense to me. Cause it's like, if I'm like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm chasing somebody with my dad, and then a nigga ups it on me, I'm telling my dad, bro, dad, let's stop. Clearly this nigga has more to lose. Cause, you know what I'm saying? Man, they ain't stopped making guns when they made y'all, so that's why you just can't be assuming that, man. I don't know. It just seemed like Ricky, it's giving that you wanted blood, gang. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Cause I don't think that nigga, he didn't have to die, bro. He didn't have to die over this water. Especially when, like I said, he didn't even steal it. Ultimately, the water was still there. Ultimately, he didn't steal no items. Ultimately, he was clearly scared. You guys started chasing the nigga out the fucking store. Imagine, you die because you're scared. You die because you're confused. You like imagine dying due to confusion. And that's why, bro. I'm telling you, that shit is so sick to me. Everybody, mama, it's cameras everywhere. It's cameras everywhere. But in this situation, now all we have is a word of the people that's alive. Cyrus can't defend himself. Cyrus don't got no witnesses. Cyrus don't got nobody that can say, you know what, this is exactly how it happens. So now we got a son and a father over here saying, man, hey, I mean, he showed me a gun. Of course, now dad's like, well, shit. You know what, he did show you a gun? Well, I had to defend my son. Who's gonna argue with that? And that's what sucks. Is like a jury. That's probably all they heard. This guy upped the gun on this guy's son. The guy had to do what he had to do to protect the son. But it's like, let's talk about the bigger situation. This guy and his son are chasing after a guy that they assumed stole water, that they didn't even confirm stole the water. I ain't gonna lie. Would I not have a right to defend myself in that situation? Like in that situation where I'm being falsely accused and I'm being chased down with a gun, wouldn't I have the right to defend myself? No. You can't win as a black person. Like I couldn't. Like you couldn't. I don't even think that would even get to work in court. Sorry, that shit just it hurt. It hurt. I ain't gonna lie, because it reminds me of the Trayvon Martin situation where it's like niggas is thinking. It's like shoot first, ask question when it comes to black people, bro. We don't even get it. We don't even get a chance to like no. They don't ever assume that we might have just, you know what I'm saying. And they never, like I said, they never de-escalate when it comes to us. They never de-escalate. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking at something for what you call it? I was on Instagram real quick, but I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I was just thinking about this whole situation with the shooting and stuff. It's just fucked up. It's fucked up. I really pray for that young man, and I pray for his family. You know. But Jay-Z, like I said, I'm not really about to sit here and play all the clips, only because I don't understand the disses. But I will say what he did do. Jay-Z disses Nicki Minaj, Drake, Dame Dash, Jaguar White, Ye, Tory Lanez, and his father, Oshino, and more during Ruth's picnic. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, is there a video where it's like Jay-Z disses Explain? What the Jay-Z Roots Picnic Explain. Oh, good.
Donna just discovered that on Vinted she can easily earn extra cash. All she has
you
to
know
do
what's
is
funny?
list and
I don't
sell.
follow Tory no more. I ain't gonna lie.
If she would have transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them. Every one of them playing these silly games. That 1-800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came. But 911 is a joke. Public enemy #1, I've been ranked. The rock's not crumbling. The leprechauns have magically run out of brakes. Your son on the federal jail line mumbling something about having too much in his drink. You know how dumb that is? Another one fumbled his, wonder how I get the blame. Niggas' teeth is tumbling out their mouth, and somehow I'm the one who done it. It's a murder mystery game. Dang dash. Come on, Jay. Had the cash cow and fuck it. With you who punked his, I'm the one who struck the pain. That hill you can die on. There's way too much flack that comes from those pain. I'm killing them softly. What's understood though? Need to explain, right? You wanted one way as the other. I spill on you suckers. I'm all you niggas game. I ain't much for me, it's know how. Cancel the grudges. I remember the pains. Raising the risk going up. It's gonna cost you a beat and even say my name.
Oh, man, I hate when I don't understand bars, bro. I hate when I don't understand bars. because I'm really listening and it sounds hard, but I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, I'm like, fuck, I don't get the references. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And this nigga over here talking about some, I'm like, okay.
You're trying to get underskin? I really get underskin as an unharmed player. Last Rivera, do your research on Last Rivera. Y'all thugs with y'all thumbs again. Everybody think they're the ones insane. You're no maniac. Watch y'all maniac in my presence, nigga, shrink. I need a new therapist. This shit is not working. I'm truly on the brink. Y'all better not encourage him. Y'all don't want me to think these thoughts that I think. Kanye. That nut-ass nigga still stuttering. Ocho Cinco Perks. That chatty patty down on his luck again. Dang. Quest introduced me to Jaguar. I don't know why I still fuck with him. Jaguar right bars is crazy, gang. We still going. We still going.
So I get that. I guess he, and that part, because that was really easy to understand. He said, I guess, Quest introduced him to Jaguar Wright, so he's like, why did I feel with this nigga? Because Jaguar Wright be doing all this crazy shit. Okay, I get that.
Keep going. That lady back on the stuff, she sound like she in love with him. Her kid can't even take their kid. Enough of them. I got MAGA Republicans. Them shots came from the very top of the government. Good luck with them. I'm governed by God. You trying to break the government. I prayed for 40 days. My neck get flooded again. Wrist get flooded again. Bible bars. Crazy. My net worth went up again. My next update, the jig is up. I'm up 10. Wrong chart, champ. You gotta look up again. Niggas look up the hole. I never looked up to them. Drake.
That bar I got. Okay, I get that bar.
In perpetuities, how your contract is worded. Don't make me go further. Don't make me go further. The roots remember, even when the trees pertain, not too much of my name. Don't forget who I am. Right. Hattie loves her Shawnees. S-H-A-W-N. I find it adorable she put the S at the end. You don't know, the show ain't even begin. Yeah. I said, you don't know, the show ain't even begin. A lot to unpack, but I'm fresh off vacation. Drake, Nicki Minaj, Tory Lanez, Osino Sparks, Dame Dash, all of them catch a shot. Kanye West as well. Jay-Z says Hattie's turned 100. He's referencing his grandmother. He said if he wouldn't have cleared his name, he would have hunted them, every single one of them, talking about his accusers. In 2024, Jay-Z was named in a civil lawsuit where he was accused of drugging and sexually assaulting a 13-year-old woman in the early 2000s. In 2025, this case was dismissed, and the Django in question privately said that she was pressured into the suit. Not to mention there was a lot of inconsistencies in his baby story, and Jay-Z and his legal team countersued for defamation, saying that this was extortion and blackmail. The leprechauns have magically run out of French, on a federal jail line, mumbling something about having too much in his drink. Tory Lanez. For years, Tory Lanez and his family have been saying Roc Nation, Jay-Z's
Oh,
company
they call
is
him Leprechaun because he's short?
Damn. Megan Thee Stallion shooting.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Despite the fact that Tory Lanez is on a federal jail line, damn near admitting to it in a sense.
Trump, nigga, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just clear. I think it's just one of those things where I feel like if you fuck with Jay-Z, you're gonna fuck with Jay-Z. If you don't fuck with Jay-Z, you're not gonna fuck with Jay-Z. I'm very like with Kanye with Drake. I fuck with you niggas. I fuck with y'all music, but I do be side-eyeing you guys. You guys, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes y'all behavior don't be matching the music in the sense of like, we everybody wants to give all this credit to Jay-Z. Everybody wants to give all this love to Jay-Z. But then it's like, they do be saying he be doing weird shit. Then they say he be doing good shit. So it's like, because like I said, even academics, that whole thing, like I said, he's a trusted source. Hey, don't hate me, hate the game. That nigga, he was on his ass for a minute, but he got scared. So I'm like, I don't know. It just be looking like it just won't be seeming like everything they be saying just be rumors, you know? I just put it like that. It don't seem like everything that be said about Jay-Z is rumors, and I think that's why it's scary. You feel me? So, but yeah. What the? But yeah. So yeah, that was the Jay-Z thing. You know, he dissed all those people, and then, you know, like I said, in reality, if I'm being honest, I guess because you can't really tell how someone how to respond. I think I just maybe I just expected different from Jay-Z. I didn't think like, I feel like in my opinion, this shows that the shit that they said does affect them and that he does pay attention. You know what I mean? So he can't go around or ever act like he don't know what niggas be saying or like he don't care. You feel me? Because I feel like, hey, if you acknowledge something, it clearly bothers you. So, you know, like I said, I mean, you letting Drake get to you, bro? Come on now, Jay-Z. You Jay-Z. But you guys be careful out there. You guys have Meta. It has been said that Instagram accounts have been getting hacked through Meta AI. Because Meta gave their AI support agent the ability to modify your Instagram account. No identity verification. And there's a video of how. So people figured it out. Took over accounts in real time and sold them on Telegram before Meta noticed. Nothing was hacked. Attackers just talked to the bot into forwarding the reset code. Knowing your username wasn't enough to start to take over. Premium handles like Hey and Joe worth $1 million combined got flipped in hours. Meta shipped this bot in March, bragging it could detect account takeovers. So yeah, as you can see, hey y'all, be careful out there. If Meta or anything, your Instagram or anything is asking you for a code, before you send the code or anything, check to be sure and make sure that you actually requested that code. You feel me? And always do the double two-step verification, two-step author verification. But in Love Island news, a Pennsylvania mayor slams Love Island contestant for quitting his police job to be on the show. This is me telling you guys, hey, do not let your job stop you from discovering your career. Do not let your position stop you from pursuing what you want to do in life. I'm having to learn this the hard way because a lot of times I be loyal to people that I don't need to be loyal to. But essentially, a Pennsylvania mayor is speaking out after Love Island. A Pennsylvania mayor. It's because I'm Pennsylvania mayor. I keep trying to do that. A Pennsylvania mayor. A Pennsylvania mayor is speaking out after Love Island USA contestant Shawn reportedly resigned from the Bentham Police Department to join season 8 of the reality dating show. I think my issue is I'm not enunciating each letter and word, so I'm slipping up. Bethlehem, that's what I'm saying. Bethlehem, right? Bethlehem Mayor J. William Reynolds said the department spent thousands of taxpayer dollars training Rifle and sending him through the police academy, adding that his departure leaves another vacancy in an already struggling workforce that may not be filled until next year. He also expressed frustration over the decision, saying he never expected reality TV participation to outweigh career in law enforcement. And you see, this is where I guess you could say people personalize shit too much anyway. Because for one, I ain't gonna lie, Pennsylvania, I don't know what you guys got going on over there that, you know what I'm saying? What does this one guy got to do with the whole shebang? But imagine you get an opportunity like this, a lifetime opportunity. Like I said, if you know what you're doing, you could really take that exposure and make it into something. So clearly, he must have, let's say, what's his name? What's my boy's name? Shawn. He clearly he must have a plan. He must have a plan, because me personally, I probably wouldn't resign. You know, if I had PTO, I probably would just take PTO, right? If you had, right, you can't take PTO.
Or pretty much I would just do something to where I could put it on pause, pursue this real quick, and then go back to it. Because how does it work? If you resign as a police officer, can you never become a police officer again? If that's how that works, then I can understand the mayor probably making a big deal about it. But if you can still become a police officer later on in life, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think we should let everybody do what they want to do. Especially like I said, going through what I went through and living the life I've lived, one thing I know is these jobs don't put you first. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you know, police officers, you know how they are. What you call it? They look out for each other. So I can see them being like, nah, like they're really a family, you know, type shit. So they probably on some stuff like, oh yeah. How can I? Dang. Yeah, let's do it like that. So yeah, they probably have it to where they have it. Yeah. So yeah, so they probably, you know, with the police officers, they for sure be looking out for each other. So I know for them, they're probably like, man, that was supposed to be the bro type shit. So that's probably how that went. But yeah, I thought that was just really funny because it's like, you know, not y'all mad, not y'all mad this nigga quit and wanted to go become a fucking a contestant in the show. You know, like I said, I hope he don't regret it, because that right there would be the more embarrassing thing. And now after the fact, this nigga is on some shit. What you call it? That the funny part would be on some shit like trying to come back on some like, oh, can I fuck with y'all again? Can y'all hire me again? Nah, that's so. You feel me? But nah. But yeah, I'm gonna go see the movie. Oh my God, Gideon, I know you're lying. Cause I'm like, that's weird. That's weird, I ain't gonna lie. But nah. So on Twitter news, one of the Abdul Carter on the Jackson. No, Abdul Carter on the Giants, he actually decided to come out with a statement basically saying that he does not align himself with, you know, Trump. And I must say, that's a real nigga right there. But listen to his quote.
So first off, I'm going to say that some things are bigger than football, and this is one of those things. Jackson is one of our leaders. He's the face of our franchise. He not only represents himself and what he does, but he represents all of us. And that goes for anybody who wears a Giants uniform. But if he chooses to align himself with a man like President Trump, it's my responsibility, based on what I believe and what I stand on, to not only show my teammates that I'm against that, but to show the world. And that doesn't mean that we have to spread hate. It doesn't mean that me and Jackson hate each other or we have beef. I sit next to Jackson every day. Every team meeting, we close, we talk. And then we just, as long as we make sure we got the same goal as a team and our goals align, which they do, and I feel like that's all that matters. So I just want to move past this, and yeah, that's it. So
I'm telling you, bro. Like people always say we make shit about politics, but it's like when it comes to us, y'all make it about politics. Y'all make it about freaking race. We don't ever get to just be doing shit. But Matthew Lillard had criticized the industry for prioritizing celebrities over voice actors in animation. The ability to carry a film as the lead of a film with only a voice is a power very few people have. The idea that they keep hiring crappy celebrities to carry huge films is killing us. And I will say I agree because, I mean, no offense to my nigga Chris Pratt, because he is a great actor, but I did find it weird how he was Mario, Garfield, and what other character was Chris Pratt? Because I mean, what else did he do? I think they mentioned it in the comments. You guys already know. Yeah, he was in a Lego movie. Like it's getting to the point where now they're just giving all these super duper characters, these characters that I feel like we should actually go for people that at least, I feel like we should go for niggas that look like the niggas. They just giving it to the nigga that's gonna bring bring the people, I guess, to watch the movie. But I guess, in the society where niggas barely go to the movies anyway, niggas barely support movies, I can see how Hollywood would be trying to prioritize rather than equality, rather than just trying to get the most money. So it really just goes back to us as the purchasers of the product. Are we holding them to a standard of keeping our product quality high, or are we just taking whatever they give us? I think we really start telling movies that we want quality movies and quality actors in these movies, they'll do it again. Because honestly speaking, I'm worried for the reactions to Scary Movie. Like, I'm worried that people are not going to appreciate the movie as it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we're in a time where they stop making movies to be good movies, but just to be successful movies, you know? Because, like, I be telling you, I be watching movies these days, not to be like, they were here, and then did a weird-ass turn in the plot, and it just lost me. And I'm like, I feel like we lost our recipes where it's like, movies, they used to try to solidify, they used to try to make sense. It's like, nowadays, movies don't be trying to make sense. They just be trying to be good, you know? But, yeah. But, what'd you call it? I was going to talk about what Shawn Wayans said about his brother, talk about the Aries Spears, but pretty much he just said that his brother's not the one to play with and shit, and that Shawn is pretty chill. But then, what you call it? It's so weird. I remember, I'm not trying to be, I hate that I would even, like, push this narrative, but I remember somebody was saying that, Shannon Sharpe is not a good interviewer. You know what I'm saying? That, like, he has really good people on there, but he doesn't know how to really, like, push the conversation forward. And I will say, I did see it in this scene when he was talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know if maybe he just like, okay, I have the cards that I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna stick to it. He doesn't expand on any topics. He doesn't expand on the conversation enough. Like, he kind of leaves it to the interviewee to kind of like carry themselves. Like, whereas, like, because pretty much I could tell because there was awkward silences, you know. But like Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think he kind of could peep, and he was like, okay, well, let me just answer it myself, you know. But let's listen.
So I'm Italian, right? We all came out of Africa. Okay. We all originated. Yeah. So basically every humans, okay, origin is in Africa. There is no dispute about none at all. None, zero at all. So now let me lead into that by saying, we surely know people. You say Americans, and you say, oh, you know, they'll say, well, what are you? There's a comment. Well, I'm Italian. Well, where are you born? America. Where are your parents born? Brooklyn. Where are their parents born? Italy. Right. So I'm Italian. Right. All right, here's another one. Okay. What are you? Oh, I'm Swedish. Okay. Where were you born? I'm born in New York. Where are your parents born? New York. Where are their parents? Because that's the immigrant. Right. Where are their parents born? No, I get it right. So, what comes through? Where are their parents born? Minnesota. Okay. Where are their parents born? Minnesota. Where are their parents born? Sweden. So I'm Swedish. Right. You see what they're doing? Yeah. They're going back. They're trade. Finding a place that soothes their need to have some kind of association, even if they've never been to that. And they stop there. Okay. What I tell them all is, why do you keep going? Just keep going. No, I just want to be from Sweden. I'm Sweden. Okay, keep going. And if you keep going, we're all African. There's an ancestor.
Like, the way that, like, you didn't ask nothing. You didn't follow. You just I'm like, dang, you're the interviewer. Man, that was just awkward.
Viewers that is African. If you go far enough back on the tree, well, you stopped in Sweden, and you stopped in Italy, and you stopped in Poland. Keep going back. The tree, the human tree of life, traces back to Africa. So now, we come out of Africa. Yes. Some continue north. Yes. It's costly to sustain dark skin. Yes.
Like, when he's saying the yes, you don't gotta ad-lib everything. Oh, man. You know, because I do that shit when I'm not really paying attention. So I'm like, I know when someone's not really listening, they're just like trying to just like sound engaging. So I guess I just want Shannon Sharpe to be a little more engaged in the conversation, you know, because it seems like he has good interviewers, he has good conversation. It just don't seem like he be really as engaged as he could be, you know. But that's just my opinion, you know. But nah, got some. I guess we can end it right here. Some new details came out about the Chud the Builder case, and the state of Tennessee described what happened in Chud's intent and why self-defense cannot be used.
Business being at new details came out yesterday in the Chud the Builder case, aka Dalton Etherly, who is charged with attempted murder after confronting a black man in front of a Tennessee courthouse. The state of Tennessee now says Dalton Etherly had no business being at the courthouse that day. They say he had a hearing earlier that day, around 9 a.m., but Etherly didn't show up and a default judgment was placed against him. Etherly then showed up some 4 hours later, just moments before the shooting that took place around 1:15 p.m. And now listen to the state of Tennessee themselves on exactly what happened that day.
He immediately walks right in front of Mr. and Mrs. Fox, and now we don't have audio yet of it, but he stops right at Mr. and Mrs. Fox, and what can only be assumed is starts his live streaming right there. The same thing he does, approaches the first black people he could see.
And if you're unfamiliar with this case, this is what he's talking about.
Come on over here and chimp out. Look at this chimping out. They chimp out every. Shut up. Come on, come do something.
That happens for.
I have my eyes closed because I don't want my phone. When the phone is this close to my eyes, it kind of be fucking my eyes up. So I'm trying not to stare right into it. I'm like, this is really a whole bunch of pixels when you really think about it. My bad, y'all. So I'm awake. Don't worry.
Etherly walks away. Selfie stick in his right hand. He's still looking back at Mr. Fox over here. Mr. Fox is looking at him. Mr. Fox does get up and approach Mr. Etherly. Mr. Fox is seen in the video making gestures to Mr. Etherly. Mr. Etherly switches his selfie stick to the left hand. He puts his right hand in his suit pocket. This is prior to any physical interaction. Mr. Fox walks away from him. He comes back. Mr. Etherly is trying to reach something out of his pocket. Just common sense says it's a firearm because he has a selfie stick in his left hand. And then Mr. Fox strikes him as the gun comes out. 7 shots are fired within seconds.
Damn.
5 of them, I believe, struck Mr. Fox as they went to the ground fighting.
5.
Now, listen carefully to what the state says, how self-defense doesn't apply.
Like I said at the prelim, some of these are going to be splitting hairs. Some of this law about self-defense, the proportionality of a punch compared to using deadly force, whether there was provocation that negates a self-defense claim, all those things happen later.
And then the state brings up what we've all known for a while, Chud the Builder's intent.
He has posted things on X, made other videos on X on what his intent is.
I'm about to blow his brains out. He pulls back around here, I'm about to blow his brains out.
For instance, on May 4th of this year on X, he posted, "Keep encouraging your fellow blacks to assault me. When you see a chimp with their brains blown out on the timeline, just know y'all did this to your own people." May 7, 2016, this is 6 days before this event. Chud the Builder posts on X, "I will defend my life with lethal force. Do not approach me with intent to threaten bodily harm." And then he posts another response to himself. "Series finale is dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys rioting when I walk free. Stay tuned."
Dalton Etherly is charged with attempted murder.
So yeah, guys, that is, that's all she wrote. As you guys can see, the secret word of today's episode is Flamin' Mo. But as you guys can see, don't be out here being racist, because some places it's not gonna work. Some places it's gonna work. Some places it's not gonna work. But please just love one another. You know what I'm saying? Please, let's just try to spread some more love, spread some more positivity around the world. And then overall, like I said, let's stop acting like black people don't have skin and we don't have like feelings, and that we don't feel anything, and that, oh, you guys can just talk to us, call us out our name, you know, get reactions, and that we don't deserve to react, and that we should. It's just a word, man. If it's just a word so bad, stop trying to say the fucking word, bro. Damn. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's your boy K Jackson B. Thank you guys for watching the STAYDOWNLA podcast. It's been episode 48, and I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.